Down, kick is up, plenty of distance, and it is good, and Houston wins the game.
Yeah, overtime for a second straight week would have been lovely for the Arizona Wildcats, but they just could not get there against the Houston Cougars. And now we're in a bye week, coming off two straight losses. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Should we call this, I think the phrase that they use, and you can see I'm wearing my Browns colors today because we don't get a lot of Victory Mondays with that team. So I gotta fly my colors on that while I can. Victory Monday is what we like to call it when we win. Therapy Monday is what we like to call it when we lose. So I guess this is a Wildcats Therapy Monday, even though we've had our full 24 hours to get over what happened on Saturday.
So you're saying Cardinals fans have been admitted to a hospital is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. We've got, it kind of looks the same. It kind of looks the same for both of these franchises right now. The Arizona Cardinals and the Arizona Wildcats.
How about 5 straight losses by 13 total points?
Yeah, exactly. Neither one of these teams can find a way to close the close game. And I'll go back to, and if you've been listening to me for 2 years now, or you probably kind of know my mantra on NFL football, and it kind of, I think, crosses over to some of what we've seen with the Arizona Wildcats this season on the college side as well. But my theory on the NFL, I covered the NFL for 4 years at the early part of this century. And my theory on the NFL is that there are 4 really good teams, generally. There are 4 really bad teams in most years. And then the other 24 teams are basically even. And those 24 teams, based on any given 4 plays, could be 10-6 or 6-10. And that's very much how I think, one, we're seeing with this Big 12 this year. You have, I think, 2 to 3 really good teams. You have some bad teams that are kind of at the bottom, West Virginia being one of those teams that does not have a win yet. Obviously, Oklahoma State being another one of those teams. You've got right now the 2 undefeated teams at the top. You've got Cincinnati, who is, again, a surprise. I don't know that anybody thought Cincinnati was going to be up there this season. You've got BYU. I think a lot of us, maybe thought BYU could be one of those teams with a freshman quarterback. You don't know sometimes how that was going to play into things. And then everybody else is basically, so those other 14 teams are basically even and could be anywhere from the top to the bottom, depending on just a few plays. And that's kind of how I feel about this Arizona team. I mean, if you look at these, you look at really all 3 of the, maybe not the first loss. The first loss, obviously, they lost by, that's a completely different thing when you lose by 25 points. But these last 2 losses, you make a play here, can you get a first down when you need to get a first down to win a game? You're looking at that differently. Can you get a stop on one of the conversion downs when a team is on a 19-play drive and they go 4 for 4 on 3rd down and 1 for 1 on 4th down? If you can make one of those plays, a defense that has been relatively good on the conversion downs this season, if you can make one of those plays, perhaps we're having a different conversation today. But right now, the Wildcats are one of those teams in the middle. And all those teams in the middle, there are the teams that know how to win and the teams that don't know how to win the close games. And right now, like the Cardinals on the NFL level, who can't find a way to make enough plays to win a close game, the Wildcats are the same. They're that team right now in the Big 12 that can't find a way to make enough plays to win these close games. And that's the difference between, again, being 6-1 going into your bye week, feeling good about yourselves, and being 4-3 going into this bye week, scratching your head and answering questions at a basketball game from ushers asking you, DK, is there a path to 2 more wins? Is there a path to getting 2 more wins in these final 5? And that's the question. Is there a path? Because ultimately, I don't know. Maybe you thought this team was going to win this conference. I mean, I don't think anybody, when we did the poll earlier this year, how many wins? I'll have to go back and look at it, but the very few people said 8 or more.
I think 3 to 5 won.
Yeah, exactly.
From our
3 to 5, yeah. I think 3 to 5 was the consensus. 3 to 5 wins. I said 7. I still think there's a path. I still feel like there's a path to 3 more wins. You got to close at home. You got to be good at home. Because this team has not been good on the road. So if you're not going to be good on the road, if you're not going to win, I'm not going to say be good, because I thought they were relatively good for the most part on Saturday. They were good enough to win that game. They just didn't win it. But they were good enough to win that game on the road this Saturday. They might not have been good enough to win the game earlier this year against Iowa State on the road, but they were good enough to win this past Saturday.
The funny thing about that, though, DK, is as people remember, Arizona had the same number of yards, same number of first downs. They had 1 more turnover, but that game versus Iowa State, there was a 20-plus point win. Statistically, both teams literally had the same stats across the board.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
That's the feeling. Is there a path? Is there a path to get to a bowl game? Because I think at the beginning of the season, we all said getting to a bowl game is step 1 for this program after you didn't get to a bowl game last year and you only won 4. If you can get to a bowl game, that's a positive first step in year 2 for this program. And then you just got to build on that. You go from 4 wins to 6 or 7 wins, and then maybe if you can continue to compile the talent, now we can maybe talk about 7 to 9 wins next year or the year after that. But you can't go, anybody that thought, and granted, I know this is a different era of college football, and it's very easy for teams to turn it around and all of that, but I still believe that there's a pathway that if you're with teams that have a good core, where you're going to go gradually from being a little bit below 500 to slightly above 500, and then to being much above 500 as you move forward. All right, 520-848-1290. Let's hear from you guys. Top takeaways. We'll start with David Amata. Top takeaways from this past Saturday's Arizona loss to Houston.
Well, the main thing to go ahead and take away from this is that was probably the cleanest game in regards to just controlling the ball that they've had in a long time. Again, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for Noah Fafita. And I know that, again, I know Brett always calls the 4th down stops turnovers. I'm not one of those people. So the 4th down stops, I don't really count that as turnovers in the traditional sense, but those are the only times that Arizona lost possession of the ball. Again, this is a team that has controlled the overall path to success without letting the defense get an upper hand on them. They have not turned the ball over in feels like a very, very long time so far this season. It's been efficient. And efficiency is a part of winning the game, and sometimes a little bit of it is just luck. We see it every single Saturday and Sunday we watch football. Sometimes you just get lucky, and sometimes you just have that one little lean on that 4th down. That changes the way it goes. If Kendrick Reesano leans slightly more to the right than the left on one of those 4th downs, maybe they convert. It's just a matter of how lucky can you get. And right now, sadly, the U of A hasn't really been lucky, but they've been efficient. And that's the harder thing to be in the game of football, because the other team is trying to stop you from being efficient. That's what their whole goal is. You haven't seen them have the issues on offense that I think a lot of people were expecting there to be with the change in the guard and the new offensive coordinator, the new system. They're running the system as almost as close to perfection as I can think of in regards to just making sure they're not making mistakes. The defense, again, just a couple more stops there and you probably get the victory, but nonetheless, it's stopping the +1 football. Running quarterbacks seems to be the downfall for this team the past 2 weeks, and that's going to be something I know Danny Gonzalez is going to be preparing them for the rest of the way here for the Big 12 season.
Yeah, the last point's obviously the most important, because The last 2 weeks, guys, it's been a big bruising quarterback in that +1 run game that's really been the defeat of the Arizona Wildcats football team. And DK's talked quite a bit about size and running so many DBs back there and trying to stop the run with guys who aren't tough, strong middle linebacker types. That's clearly the biggest issue. Back to the bowl thing in 6 wins. Do you guys know how many bowl games there were in 1980?
Let me guess. I'll say 15.
Exactly 15. There were exactly 15 bowls in 1980. Do you know how many there are now? 47.
Oh, wow. I was going to say
47
35.
bowl games. So,
Yeah.
and what do they count now? They count non-D1, not FCS games as part of your bowl resume. Okay,
Right.
so it's actually much easier. There's many more bowls. There's a lot of, you can get wins against teams that aren't necessarily high caliber, and they count towards your bowl game. So to me, DK, it used to be a winning season 30 years ago to go to a bowl game. The question I have is it a down season or a lost season if you don't go to a bowl game these days? Now, I understand 6 wins is 6 wins in a conference like the Big 12. Every single game is going to be difficult, but that has to be the measuring stick, right? I mean, the years of having 3, 4, 5 wins or whatever and not being eligible on the cusp of a bowl game for the past 4 weekends, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a team that won their first 3 games, 4 out of the first five, right? On a little bit of a skid here now, but just one play here, one play there, DK. It's that whole like best coach to not make a Final Four thing. Jamel Horn hits a 3, that's not the conversation. If you make one play here, one play there, Arizona goes to a bowl, but it's that inches game. We're talking about one play to win the game. And those teams that Arizona just played, DK, as a unit, understood what it took down the stretch to make big plays, to get a 4th down conversion late in the 4th quarter, to score a touchdown under a minute to go to tie the game, send it to overtime. All those big plays those teams made, that's what Arizona has to do. Point blank, you just simply have to make game-winning key plays down the stretch. Every game throughout the game is important. Every single play throughout the game counts equally in my mind. And when the score's tied or it's a one-possession game one way or the other, one forceful block here, one hard cut there can be the difference in winning these games and losing these games. And I think Arizona fans who are accosting you in the aisle of a basketball game, DK, are just, they're more frustrated because of how close it is. Losing 20 games in a row, a lot of those games weren't close. Arizona's right on the cusp to being a contender, and I think fans can see that. It's just frustrating these last couple of weeks to be just short of that finish line.
520-848-1290. Want to hear your thoughts on it all. Arizona football. We'll also talk some Arizona basketball today as the Wildcats win their exhibition game over the St. Mary's Gales. We'll get the fellas' thoughts on that, their top takeaways from that as well. I'll give you the ones that I talked about after the game on Saturday. I haven't had the chance to really go back and review much of that game, but had some thoughts on just being there and what I saw. I want to hear your thoughts if you were at McHale Center on that as well. We'll talk Arizona football and basketball with Brian Peterson coming up in the 4 o'clock hour from AZ Desert Swarm. We'll talk Arizona basketball with Ryan Hansen coming up at the 5 o'clock hour, analyst on the Wildcats Radio Network. And we also want to talk with you. We'll have your BetMGM Network top plays. We have a split decision. A split decision for Game 7 tonight. We have a Game 7 in Major League Baseball, and we have a split decision on how to bet on this game. We will give you that coming up here straight away as we get closer to first pitch of that game coming up in Canada.
We're all got to be Mariners fans, right? I mean, they've never been to a World Series. Just to remind listeners, the Seattle Mariners is the only Major League Baseball franchise to never have gone to a World Series.
What if I tell you that there's already some good juju going the way of the Mariners?
Ooh, what's that?
Who showed up? What did Vladimir Guerrero Jr. come wearing to Game 7 in Toronto?
Oh, boy.
An Austin Matthews Toronto Maple Leafs sweater.
Oh,
and
wow.
anybody that knows anything, the city of Toronto does not do well with Game 7s.
Oh, gosh.
The only way that could be worse is if they were playing Boston in Toronto. But nonetheless, there's already good juju going the Mariners'
What,
way.
so do the Maple Leafs have a long losing streak, I guess, in
DK.
Game 7s, I guess?
And there was a riot, wasn't there?
There was a riot
Yeah,
for losing.
that was like 10 years ago.
They lost the war. Well, that was Vancouver, but the Maple Leafs have just had a string of bad luck. We're talking there have been at least 1 or 2 reverse sweeps that have gone against the Toronto Maple Leafs in their sordid history of recent memory. I'll get the exact numbers, but trust me, Game 7 in Toronto gives PTSD to all sports fans north of the border.
Well, there you go. Austin Matthews, obviously Arizona native. So Vladimir kind of pulling us into this Game 7 tonight, wearing the jersey of our boy. All right, we'll get you all of that coming up as well. Suns open up in about 48 hours. The NBA season will be getting going as well. We'll recheck Arizona volleyball, Arizona soccer, all of that. Roadrunners played a couple of games at home this weekend. High school football this past Friday night. We can chat about it all. DK on the Sports Tip. Full show. We've got you till 6 o'clock. Panther Talk at 6:05 because no Brent Brennan show today. And then Monday Night Football because we got a doubleheader. We got Game 2 right here. Game 2 of Monday Night Football on Wildcats Radio 1290 tonight. The Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. Cricket is here, and she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Crashes reported in Oro Valley, McGee to the west of Oracle at McGee and Northern. Also collision at Anway and Avra Valley Road and Anway Road. Closures westbound Glen west of Alvernon and also westbound Glen west of Campbell. Both closed for road work. Use Fort Lowell instead. 59 the low, 92 tomorrow, and 87 now. And that's your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Starbucks. The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Handcrafted with their signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Ooh. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. PSL. Get it while it's hot. Or iced. Only at Starbucks.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
My family is having significant challenges, so I dropped out of high school. I returned to school as a computer science major to support my family. And Earn to Learn and Hughes Federal Credit Union helped me get back on the right track, teaching me to be responsible with my money and planning for my future. Learning about the credit union difference gave me the life goal to never bank anywhere else.
Find out how Hughes and Earn to Learn join forces to support student success at hughesfcu.org/earn-to-learn. Insured by NCUA. Certain restrictions apply.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
The Home Depot has everything you need to turn your home into a beacon of holiday cheer. So whether you're going all out or just adding a few holiday touches, we've got you covered with trees, yard decor, and more. Save time decorating with one of our easy-to-assemble pre-lit trees, or pick up a piece from our Yuletide Lane decor collection and fill your yard with holiday joy. Whatever your style, find everything to get your holidays started at the Home Depot.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is the two best words in all of sports. Well, unless, of course, you play in the NFL. Because there's no such thing as a Game 7 in the NFL. But there is in the NBA, and there is in Major League Baseball, and we have one tonight. The Blue Jays and the Mariners. We talked about it in segment 1. Vladimir Guerrero walking with some machismo into the stadium tonight, wearing Austin Matthews' Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, and he can do that because he does this.
The kick in the 1-1. Swing and a laser. Left field in deep. Sinking toward the bullpen. Gone! Plakata! Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 5-0 Blue Jays in the 5th.
Only Shohei Ohtani has hit more home runs in the postseason than Vladimir Guerrero, and he's so good. Should we hear that in Spanish? Because, Spanish is always better.
El lanzamiento, Vladimir conecta batazo grande, profundo por el jardín izquierdo. La bola tomando altura. Se eleva. Se eleva. Y esa. Búsquenla las gradas del jardín izquierdo para Vladimir Guerrero.
I kind of wanted to hear it in French because, of course, Toronto, but I could not find the French version out there of Vladimir Guerrero's home run. But there you go. You still get Spanish, even in Canada. I don't know how many folks up in Canada speak Spanish, but they have Spanish radio on the Toronto Blue Jays side of the coin. All right, Game 7. The Mariners won the first 2 games in Toronto. Then the series shifted back to Seattle, and the Blue Jays won the first 2 games, and now each team has one home win. As the Mariners won Game 5 in Seattle, the Blue Jays won Game 6 in Toronto, and thus we have a Game 7 tonight. There has been a lot of scoring in this series to this point in these games, but we have got, get this, we have got a split decision tonight in terms of our BetMGM Network play of the day on how much scoring there's going to be in this game tonight.
Is that 2 AI computers arguing with each other?
I would imagine it would be. That's the Jeopardy video question of the day when they had that hard drive doing the hosting.
Or 2 betting aficionados arguing with each other. So we had 8 runs last night in Game 6. We had 8 runs Friday night in Game number 5. We had then we go back to the night before that, which was Game number 4. We had 10 runs in game number 4 on Thursday. And then we had 17 runs in game number 3 on last Wednesday. So in Seattle, there were a lot of runs scored in this series. So the question is to take the over or the under in this game. We've got a split decision. Let's hear the first of the split decisions.
I'm Michael Jenkins here to help you beat the books with BetMGM Network. We're taking over 7 runs in tonight's Game 7 of the ALCS between the Mariners and Blue Jays. Game 7s are usually lower scoring, but this series has been full of offense. George Kirby is on the mound for the M's. He's given up 11 runs in 3 postseason games. And taking on Shane Bieber for Toronto, he's allowed 5 runs in 8 2/3 innings of postseason action. This game will have lots of offense, so take the over 7. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
All right, right now at BetMGM Network, that is now gone up to 7.5. So with the over now is 7.5. So you need 8 runs or more tonight if you're taking the over in this game. So says Michael Jenkins. That's at minus 105. So your $12.90 bet, your $12.90 bet will get you back $12.29. So Michael Jenkins says take the over. Au contraire, mon frère. There's some French for you. Says Joe Ostrowski.
Game 7. I'm Joe Ostrowski here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. Seattle at Toronto for the right to represent the AL in the World Series. The last Kirby versus Bieber matchup had the Mariners as the favorite, but the Jays are favored tonight. 5 straight overs in this series, but I'm going under 7.5 in this do-or-die spot. I'm Joe Ostrowski from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
So Joe Ostrowski says take the under in this series at minus 115. That means your $12.90 bet will get you back $11.22 on the under. You've got Shane Bieber on the mound for the Blue Jays, the former Cleveland Indian and Guardian. George Kirby on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. What do you think, guys? How many times in Game 7 have we seen a game go 1-0 or 2-1? So the prevailing thought might be to take the under in this particular Game 7. However, we've just talked about it. The scoring has been up in this series. So under 7.5 or over 7.5.
I think it's logical when you think of it like this. These guys have played 30 years of their lives to get to this moment. However, the Seattle baseball players are playing with the back of the history of the Mariners on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no team has ever made it. Not to say that every time they get up to an at-bat in a Major League Baseball game, there's pressure.
Oh, yeah.
But the level of pressure in a Game 7, when your franchise is the only one to have never made it, there's just that little bit of adrenaline. There's a little bit of yips, that whole thing. So I would not be surprised. Now, the same can be said on the pitching side of things. So maybe the pitchers just can't find the zone. Maybe you see balls flying over the yard. I mean, it could go either way, but I would not be surprised to see a non-clean game tonight in Toronto. Let's put it that way.
Non-clean, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see some errors. And see maybe a couple of base running mistakes, that kind of thing. You just get in your own head, and there's just so much on the line.
A couple of collars a little tight around the neck kind of thing. No, absolutely. There's going to be those moments where somebody's going to go from gaff to goat. There's going to be those moments. I think for sure there are going to be some high-scoring moments in this game. I think that you're probably going to get at least a 3-run homer probably in the first 5 innings. That would be one of my guesses here. But I think it's going to be just whoever outlasts the other. And we've seen the Mariners just outlasted the Tigers not too long ago, having to go almost 14 pitchers deep to win a winner-take-all.
And on that point, there's no tomorrow.
Yes.
So the funnest thing about Game 7s like this is that everybody is eligible to pitch, DK.
Yes,
it doesn't matter if you're a center fielder. If you need them to get one out, you're going to be thrown up there on the mound.
All right, so we've got about an hour and a half before this game first pitches. So we might not give our take right now in terms of whether we're going to take the over or the under. But we want to hear from you on that today. 520-848-1290. I might even put that up as a quick question of the day over on Twitter. Should we take the over or should we take the under? First pitch scheduled for 5:10, so we've got some time before we do that. I'll put that up, and you can decide over on Twitter at Wildcats1290. Let us know what you think, or give us a call, 520-848-1290, or text us at that number and let us know whether we should take the over 7.5 or the under 7.5 in that ball game tonight. All right, how did we do over the weekend? Well, we had a play in the Notre Dame USC game.
This one will be taken out a yard in. Price gets away from one, across the 20, finds a crease to Dorian Price. He has done this before. Price extends away. Touchdown Notre Dame. Jadorian to Jahouse.
Bro, like, how is it possible that the Fighting Irish always have a kickoff return in a big game?
Yeah.
It never fails. There's always one guy.
It's crazy.
Every single season.
It's crazy how many huge games, like how many 1 versus 5 through my lifetime that the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have returned a kickoff, if not a punt.
And the one time where it doesn't happen is when they lose to Colorado in a game that they probably should have won, all intents and purposes. But Chad Brown, Steeler legend Chad Brown, got that tackle on Tim Brown.
Yeah, I remember when I was at a famed game in college where Tim Brown took one back. I think that was the year the number one. It was Notre Dame number 1, USC number 2. That was my senior year in college. So I've seen a few of these. But how? And as soon as I saw that, the first thing I thought about was how good. If there's one positive thing that the Wildcats have going for them, it's Ian Wagner. I'm thinking, how does Ian Wagner, our kickoff guy, play into a Notre Dame USC game? But as soon as I saw them return that touchdown, I'm like, well, that would never happen against Arizona because Ian Wagner would kick the ball out of the end zone and he never have a chance. Now, you're talking about the fall. You're talking about fall in South Bend, and it was raining and all of that. So, the ball did not appear maybe to be traveling as far as it normally would. So that led to those opportunities. But I'll take our guy Ian Wagner punting those balls, kicking those balls out of the end zone every single time, and not allowing a team to take one.
Well,
back.
I mean, and Tyler Loop did the same.
Yeah.
And Lucas Haversick did the same. So, how many seasons has it been? I mean, we've seen a lot of losing years in general, but how many years has it been since opponents have had opportunities on a regular basis to return kicks versus Arizona? That's one thing. They're always kicking the ball through the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. We had the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and plus. So the line on that game was Notre Dame minus 9.5. And at that point, when Jadarian Price did that, USC had just taken a 1-point lead in the game, but that quickly flipped back. Notre Dame ends up kicking another field goal. They win by 10. So we just cover on that game right there. Notre Dame minus 9.5. They win it 34-24 over Southern California. They have not, because USC has not won in South Bend since, I believe, 2011. Last time I was at a game there in South Bend for the rivalry was 2007. That was the year that SC won 38-0. So maybe I should start going back. They might start winning.
So 4 weeks ago, USC is the leading offense in the country. They're averaging 600 yards a game. They're averaging 60 points a game. And UCLA fires its coach. And here we are 4 weeks later. UCLA's won 3 in a row, and USC's struggling a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that rivalry between those two schools. Certainly, I'm sure those guys have a lot to talk about. I just think this game, DK, it's such a. I mean, there is no rivalry game to me. I've never lived in the Ohio State-Michigan zone. I've never been in the crosshairs of those two fan bases. But as far as USC Notre Dame goes, I mean, every year since I was a kid, I know you were right in the middle of it, but it always seems like they're always good, and it could always be a coin flip regardless of how many points a team's favored by coming in. But like you said, that kickoff return, probably the difference.
Yeah, indeed. So the other play we had was from the Friday night game involving Bill Belichick. Do you see how that one ended? Oh, my gosh. It was like Carolina's on their way in to win the game, and the guy fumbles the ball out of the end zone for a touchback. That's heartbreaking right there.
Heartbreaking is when your quarterback goes down and you're beating the school up north, and then somehow, some way, you lose that game.
Yeah. California, though, was favored by 8.5. They only end up winning that game by 3 points, and we had the Bears minus 8.5, so we lost on that one. So we got a split, but obviously losing money because we only won 11. We only won 11-22 on our Notre Dame game over the weekend. So still not making much of a dent in our $369 that we are in the hole. But we'll see what happens tonight. Also, we've got Monday Night Football. The first game is coming up, and we got to play on that. So the first game tonight will be the Buccaneers at the Lions. This should be a good one. I think they've played in the playoffs at least last year or the year before last, so this should be a good one. Buccaneers +6. Okay, so there you go. Baker Mayfield and company +6 over Detroit tonight at -110 at BetMGM Network. So you get $11.73 back on that play, or you can bet in person over at Soul Sports at Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf. Head on over there and bet in person at Soul Sports. Quickly, Buccaneers +6. I think that's a pretty good play.
Yeah, no, I like that one. I like +6 for the Bucs.
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago they played in the postseason.
They did, yeah.
And
They
the
beat
Lions won. Wasn't it?
Yes, the Lions won 31-23.
Right. Exactly. All right, so those are your BetMGM Network top plays of the day. Do with that what you like. DK on the sports tip. We'll talk some Arizona basketball when we return. Thoughts on the first exhibition game. What came out of that? There was another question that was asked of me when I was at the game on Saturday. I had an usher ask me about the football team. I had a friend of mine that I sat with for a little bit ask me about the basketball team. I'll tell you what he asked me when we return. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. With collisions reported Cortero west of I-10, Cortero and Arizona Pavilions Drive, McGee near Oracle on McGee to the west of Oracle, also Abra Valley and Anway Road and Abra Valley Road. And for your weather, 59, the overnight low, 92, tomorrow and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with a Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with a Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Ugh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the Neighborly Done Right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed.
Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a Neighborly company.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can easily find the right home insurance for you, even if it's not with Progressive. But if you don't choose us, then sure, okay, it's not going to work out. We're not going to cry about it or stay awake wondering what our future together would have looked like. We can't get emotionally invested, even if it sounds like we are. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer allows you to easily compare home insurance rates and coverages in one place, even if it's not with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. I love you. I shouldn't have said that.
Attention retirement savers. A top U.S. bank predicts a 2025 recession as tariffs rattle markets. According to reports, 2025 recession risk just increased significantly. That's why thousands of hardworking Americans are turning to award-winning precious metals company, Goldco. Goldco is offering you a free 2025 gold and silver kit. Plus, you can get an unlimited instant match and bonus silver for qualified accounts. Call 855-969-GOLD. Find out how you can help diversify your savings. Tax and penalty free today. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Hey, it's Mrs. HVAC. If you're anything like me, a mom, a wife, and maybe a little bit crazy about the air I breathe and the water I drink, then listen up. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has you in mind with our home wellness check. That's 3 visits a year to make sure your AC is happy, your plumbing isn't plotting against you, and your water isn't secretly weird. We'll even test your water quality because you deserve spa water, not swamp vibes. Let's keep your home sane, even if you're not. Call us today or book online at picturerockscooling.com.
This is Bill Ryder, the Sports Minute. For you Toronto Blue Jays fans, put your hands over your ears and take a break. For the rest of you, for the rest of us, it's time to root for the Seattle Mariners to win Game 7 of the ALCS. It's an organization that's never won a World Series. It's a feel-good story. It's an incredible baseball team, and it would be absolutely riveting to watch the Los Angeles Dodgers $500 million roster take on the little engine that could. I'm Bill Ryder.
Paid for by term provider. Premiums will vary. Plans depend on age, location, and other factors. Visit bigloot.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-555-1509. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-555-1509. That's 800-555-1509. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. 800-555-1509.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Getting it out to Krivas. Almost lost it, but he recovers. Gets it out to Jaden Bradley. Back to Krivas. Goes for the dunk, and Krivas slams it home. Arizona leads by 5. Now St. Mary's moving the other way. The point-blank layup is missed by Andrew McKeever, and Arizona's got it. Moving right back. Jaden Bradley crosses over, kicks it to Nelson in the left corner for 3. It's good. Arizona on a run here at McHale.
Arizona basketball wins their exhibition game on Saturday at McHale Center, 81-68 over St. Mary's College. We'll talk about that here, but before that, I just want to remind you of a couple things. We do have a question of the day right now up on Wildcats 1290. You got about an hour plus to get involved with this before first pitch coming up at 5:10 of the ALCS Game 7. Will it be the over or the under? We've got a split decision from BetMGM Network. Michael Jenkins says take the over. Joe Ostrowski says take the under. What do you think? Head over to Wildcats 1290, our Twitter account right now, and cast your vote over or under. And then right after the 5 o'clock hour, we'll make our decision on which bet we are going to take for tomorrow. Also, coming up here before the end of this segment, I'm going to give you a national keyword, and you got a chance to win $1,000. It's the 5K a day giveaway promotion. 5 times a day, we are giving away $1,000 to a lucky person. 6 to 9 a.m., 9 to 11, 11 to 2, 2 to 4, and 4 to 7. You get a different national keyword in all of those blocks Monday through Friday, and all you have to do is text that keyword to 95819, and you got a chance to win $1,000. So stay tuned here in the next 10 minutes. Even before that, I am going to give you a national keyword. All right, guys, Arizona basketball opened up their exhibition schedule. They'll play 2 exhibition games, a Division I exhibition game against a pretty good team in St. Mary's, went to the tournament last year and won a game in the first round over Vanderbilt before losing to Alabama in the second round. Champions of the West Coast Conference regular season last year as well. So a very good opponent to get things tested. Arizona, I guess one of the top takeaways I had away from this game is that the Arizona shot just 4 for 16 from 3. And I had a chance to sit and watch a little bit of the game with a buddy of mine who was there on Saturday. And one of the things he said to me was, who's going to be the outside threat on this team? And obviously, when you think about who can shoot the ball from distance, you think about Anthony Del Orso, who did not have necessarily a good game doing that on Saturday. He was only 1 for 7. And I think Anthony last year shot 41% from 3, but last year he didn't have to be the primary guy that was shooting the 3-pointers for Arizona. I mean, a lot of that pressure last year fell on Caleb Love. He was the secondary distance shooter on this team. I think this year he's got to be the primary distance shooter on this team, and that comes with a whole different lot of pressure than what he had last year when he was coming in here. He was the new guy, and yeah, he was a rotational player, but maybe the weight of this fandom was not necessarily on him like it's going to be on him this season. And I think one big question going into this year is Anthony Del Orso up to that this year?
Yeah, I mean, here's how it works. Anthony Del Orso has to shoot when he's open. He doesn't have to make anything. It has to be on the scout that a green light shooter is in the corner to force the defense to rotate, because what they're trying to do is trying to drive and get to the cup. I mean, they're not going to design their offense around a 2016 Steph Curry Kerr-led offense. They're not going to be shooting 43s a game. I don't think that's the way this team's designed. I think Anthony Del Orso putting on pounds, DK, will let him stay in the game because he needs to be able to defend players at this level, and especially in the physical Big 12. What we saw last season, Duke, was it? He got 6 minutes and then got pulled and didn't get in the second half. We saw that a couple times in the Big 12. He needs to be able to stay in front of players and have a physicality defensively because he's a shooter. I think the entire nation knows that Anthony Del Orso is a shooter and is capable of knocking down those shots. Do I think he needs to make 4 threes a game for Arizona to win games? No. I just think that it's important for him and for Braden Burries and for Jaden Bradley and for anybody else in that locker room who's given the go-ahead by the coaching staff to shoot open shots. You can't hesitate. You have to keep the defense honest because this team's going to revolve around their drives. Just look at the roster, a lot of post-ups, a lot of drives. On the game itself, DK, I will say, St. Mary's last year was the 10th best efficient defense in the entire country. They've been that way for decades. That's what they do. So shooting 52% from the field, exhibition or not, scoring 81 points, my biggest question coming to this game was, would the newcomers, would the freshmen match the intensity required to be able to hang with a team like St. Mary's? And there was a stretch there in the second half where St. Mary's made it close, but there was no question about the game-ending run and Arizona, asserting their dominance, winning that game by 13. I think that they matched the intensity and stepped up and played very well in their first outing. you got to remember there's a ton of new faces. Trying to incorporate in that rotation just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that I took away from it is that don't be expecting Mateus Krivas to get 17 rebounds every single night. The main reason why is that Tobe Awaka didn't play in this game. That's a huge thing about this roster that they didn't put out Tobe, but they did bring out the guards. They let Jaden Bradley play for 31 minutes. Anthony Delorso was out there for 28.
Yeah, that tells you how much they wanted to win the game. They played both of those guys for 30-plus minutes.
And to J-Dub's comment about Anthony Delorso putting on that weight and trying to be a good defender, 28 minutes, one personal foul called on him, and that shows that, okay, he's staying in front of guys, but he's not getting handsy with guys when they have the ball. That's an important facet to it. But again, the fact that Krivas was out there for 30-plus minutes and he looked strong, and that's the biggest thing about it coming off of the foot injury. How strong was he going to be? 17 rebounds shows that, hey, he's willing and able right now, if he's asked, to be down there banging down low with the bigs.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's hear from our guy, Paul in Phoenix. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, David. Hey, guys. Hey, so I true confession, I did not see any of the basketball game, but I'm thinking about Delorso, and I think his role for me after even just one exhibition game. Okay, like I said, didn't see it, but I don't want him to be our main three-point shooter, and I have a feeling now. I'm really hoping that there's going to be somebody else who's going to step up on this team who will be our three-point shooter sometime by the end of December. Now, he still needs to fill it up, but I really want him to focus on playing defense and getting more minutes, because it just seemed like last year when he wasn't playing defense, coach would pull him out. Okay, come here, sit next to me for a little bit. So I want him on the floor. I think he's better for us on the floor. Like I don't know, J-Dub kind of mentioned, but we want people to know that he will bury the three-pointer on you, but I don't want him to think that he's our only go-to guy, because then I don't know if he can handle the pressure yet. And I want him to prove me wrong, but I don't know if the pressure is going to be too much for him. So I don't want him to force it, in other words. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Okay,
now, as far as, Krivas played 32 minutes. I do know that. And I was like, come on, coach. He's got some feet that we want to keep his feet healthy, Right. So can we back that up? And Coach will. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't need me to tell him anything. But all I can say is, for the fans out there, anybody who, if you like to watch interviews, you gotta watch every single. It's must-see TV. Tommy Lloyd's press conferences are so funny. I love it. I'll say it all year long. It's just must-see television. That's what it is. But David, I know JW said talk basketball, but I
did not say that. I said we are going to talk basketball, and then we can talk football.
Okay. Well, let me get JW out from under the bus. Sorry, just kidding. No. So on the football thing, I think somebody must not like me, because my football team in Tucson, my football team out here in Glendale, I don't know what we need to do to figure out how to close out a game, and it's so frustrating. We're that close, and we can't finish a game. It's just frustrating. I mean, for the Cardinals to set records, for the only team in NFL history to have 3 games, the leading by 7 or more in the fourth quarter, blah blah blah, to lose. Great, that's another record we can hang on our mantle, I guess. But it's frustrating. I have not given up on this U of A football team. I think there's lots of good things going on, and I'm hopeful that the fans also do that. But my last thing, do we know yet a time for the Colorado game?
We do not. They flexed it into the 6-day window, so we won't know.
Oh no! Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Well, they flexed half the schedule. I think they flexed all but one game next Saturday into the 6-game window.
That's what happens
2 weeks ago,
right?
Yeah,
you're in prime time when
teams. Yeah,
you're in prime time when you're ranked, and when you're not, you're not.
Yeah, it's like, dang it.
I got a question for you, Paul. Okay. What are you going to do with yourself on Saturday?
That's a great question. Yeah, you're right. Well, and Sunday, too. It's a double bye week for me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Cardinals don't play either.
No Cardinals either. So, you know what? That is a great question. I will do something that I probably should have done this past Saturday, David, and I did not make it to my granddaughter's soccer game. I will be there. I think it's Saturday morning again, and I will be there for sure. So that's another way the gods punished me. Like, well, you should have gone to the soccer game, put the U of A down for an hour or so, and go back to it. But it's all good. But hey, guys, this is going to be a fun ride. It's just weird that we're talking basketball in October, and all the ASU people are saying, yeah, that's all you guys do is talk about basketball. It's like, well, no, we're talking because it's real. It's here. And hey, November 3rd is right around the corner, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the
November 4th,
the official?
I think 4th.
Is it the 4th?
Yeah,
Okay.
is the first game.
And that's the Vegas game.
Yeah, and against Florida, correct.
Against Florida. Yep. Okay, good. I can't wait for that one. That'll be a good one. So, okay, guys, thanks again. Bear down.
Appreciate it, Paul in Phoenix. That's our guy. All right, Dragon Ball's here.
Missing kids' games, man. Can't be missing
you
those.
can't be. You gotta be with those grandkids.
For the record, we talked football, and then basketball because the Arizona basketball team just played their first game of the year on Saturday.
Yeah.
And that's why we're talking about
Absolutely.
basketball. Yeah.
All right, Dragon Ball series got everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona as well as sports around the world.
Well, the Arizona Wildcats, again, came up just short against the Houston Cougars on Saturday. The game-winning kick managed to sail through the uprights in the final moments, but it was a competitive game down the stretch for Arizona. Again, Noah Fafita kept the team in it all the way with his performance, with only 2 of his 26 passes falling incomplete on the day, as well as throwing 2 touchdowns. Brennan spoke on that performance earlier today.
I think Noah's on a great track. When you complete 24 of 26, that's a pretty special day in football anywhere. You know what I mean? I think Noah, his relationship with Coach Daggy, I think his comfort in the offense, I think you see him improving and growing week by week. It also speaks to just what a competitor and what a hard worker he is, right? It's so important to him. And so when you see somebody invest that level of time and effort and energy into being really good, then you start to see the results. It's awesome to see that for that kid.
Again, the Cats out going to their bye week. Still a game above 500, but only 1 victory thus far in conference play. The Cardinals, meanwhile, ended up suffering a similar fate as the Wildcats as Arizona surrendered a touchdown in the final 2 minutes against Green Bay, and they survived against the Jacoby Brissett-led Cardinals squad. Micah Parsons had his best day as a pro, not just as a Packer, but a pro in the NFL. He collected a career-high 3 sacks on the day. And a tradition for one of the Big 12's programs has officially been asked to stop. The Red Raiders have announced they will no longer be allowing or encouraging the throwing of tortillas at the opening kickoff of football games. No tortillas.
No tortillas.
A tradition that started back in the 1990s. This was voted 15-1 to assess a 15-yard penalty after 2 warnings for objects being thrown on the field, but with the threat of a $100,000 fine for the next instance after the October 11th contest against Kansas. Texas Tech has now officially taken the stance that they cannot allow the tradition to continue any further.
They just need a donor like the BYU guy who ponied up $50,000 to pay for the field rushing fine.
There you go.
Texas Tech, they're throwing away millions of dollars to softball players. They don't have a guy that can pay fines.
Well, they're throwing away millions of dollars in tortillas.
I'll be the fine donor. Whatever we got to do, I'll pay all the fines.
And that's 2020 Sports Update here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
Bounce pass, a Walker, slam it home.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Some slowing at Ahaway and Mission. Collisions reported Craycroft to the south of Pima. Cortero west of I-10, Cortero and Arizona Pavilions Drive. McGee west of Oracle at McGee and Northern, and also Aver Valley Road and Anway. 52 the low, 92 tomorrow, and 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Next Roll is a groundbreaking podcast created and executive produced by Vernon Davis.
Combining cinematic storytelling with thought-provoking conversations.
The series explores the transformative journeys of athletes, artists, comedians, and entrepreneurs
as they redefine their careers and push their creative boundaries.
Next Roll isn't about what's next.
It's about the fear they had to fight through, the resilience, and what they had to do to achieve everything at the highest level possible.
Next Roll with Vernon Davis.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
My hero!
To advertise up to 40% off at Tobacco Barn, paying no city or state sales tax, and saving up to $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com, I'm going to jump from this airplane at 30,000 feet.
I hope he's careful.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation.
Wait, where's the ripcord?
And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Oh no, he forgot his parachute.
I did it!
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco.
Captain, you seem a little shorter.
I prefer vertically challenged, my dear.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Or did everyone else get taller?
Oh, brother.
Hello, everybody.
Gary, why are you wearing a...
Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that?
Yeah, but...
And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications.
Yeah, but...
Then Gary says something ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather.
Yeah, but...
And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns.
Yeah, but...
And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it.
I choose to ignore that remark.
Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
The Home Depot has everything you need to turn your home into a beacon of holiday cheer. So whether you're going all out or just adding a few holiday touches, we've got you covered with trees, yard decor, and more. Save time decorating with one of our easy-to-assemble pre-lit trees or pick up a piece from our Yuletide Lane decor collection and fill your yard with holiday joy. Whatever your style, find everything to get your holidays started at the Home Depot.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, a bad day for the Cardinals was a good day for an Arizona Wildcat grad by the name of Lucas Havrisek.
Yard attempt. For the right hash, Lucas Havrisek from 61, and the kick is good.
61-yard field goal by Lucas Havrisek, the longest field goal in the history of the franchise. And J-Dub, not only that, but there were some other interesting numbers tacked around that historic event by the Wildcat.
Yeah, I was reading about from a Green Bay paper today that they couldn't find record of another 60-plus yard attempt in Green Bay history. It goes back to 1978. Apparently, they had a 68-yard free kick, but that's not technically a field goal. So this was the first attempt from over 60 yards and good from 61. So how about that? I mean, that franchise is about as storied as any. No disrespect to Steelers fans and Browns fans. I know you guys started the league and all that stuff, but like the Packers, that's the Packers. That's it, right? And he was teaching 2 weeks ago. So going being a substitute teacher to kicking the longest field goal in the freaking Packers history, man, what a story.
He's 5 for 5. He's made all four of his field goals, all 6 of his extra points in 2 games now, of which the Packers have won both. They are 4-1-1. Of course, they had that tie with the Cowboys a few weeks back, but they are 4-1-1 now. And Lucas Havrisek is the toast of the town in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's hear from Matt LaFleur. He had confidence all the time leading into that 61-yard field goal.
I looked up at the clock, saw how much time was left. It wasn't by any means a chip shot, although Lucas has come in and done a hell of a job. So I just one of those deals where I was like, no matter what we call, this guy's going to make it work. And that's exactly what happened, because we had a play called for 1 versus man in candidate versus zone, and didn't necessarily get the play that we wanted, but it doesn't matter sometimes when you have guys that have confidence in what they're doing. And Tuck did a hell of a job winning on the route. Our O-line protected, and Jordan gave him a chance, and that's exactly what it took. How about that? Franchise record. Unbelievable. Hell of a job.
Unbelievable indeed. But, of course, it came at the expense of a loss for the Cardinals, who have now fallen in 5 straight games. And this, again, was another game that got away from them in the fourth quarter. Jacoby Brissett got another start for this club as Kyler Murray continues to deal with a foot injury. Jacoby, 25 of 36, 279 yards, threw a pair of touchdowns, but he was sacked 6 times. 6 times in this ball game. And to make matters worse, remember a few weeks ago we talked about how State Farm Stadium can become a haven for the visitors. Well, I don't know if you were there yesterday, but the word on the street was the home team had to go to a silent count offensively. The home team, the Cardinals, had to go to a silent count offensively because of all the Green Bay Packers fans who were in the building at State Farm Stadium. And I knew it. I knew that's what was going to happen. I said, watch the Green Bay game. It'll be majority Green Bay Packers fans, which is amazing when you consider how small that town is. That's like the smallest city in the National Football League. But yeah, they have, because of the history, like J-Dub mentioned, they have this huge fan base. The Lombardi years and all of those Super Bowls and championships that they won during that time, winning the first 2 Super Bowls. And then we mentioned Friday, the fact that they've had essentially 3 quarterbacks in the last, 25 years or whatever it is.
I think a lot of fans kind of became Packers fans when, and this was 60s, like late 60s?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When these are our 4 plays. I'm going to tell you exactly how we run them. You can't stop us.
Yeah.
Run a seal here.
That's like the literal best trash talking is these are our 4 plays. You cannot stop us. We're going to win the title.
Can't stop it. And you couldn't stop Jimmy Taylor. You couldn't stop Paul Hornung. And they were going to tell you, we put it on the blackboard for you. We got the video for you. We're going to run this toss trap over here, and you can't stop it. And there's nothing you can do about it. And then the one time where they don't do it, it's when the Cowboys we got to stop them for 1 yard. We got to they're going to kick the field goal. They're going to tie it. We don't need to worry about it. And Bart starts just give me the ball. I'm going to go over the top, and I'm just going to end this game. It's cold out here.
Yeah, the field warming system failed us today.
Oh, it failed. Certainly it failed.
Speaking of that, here, let me J-Dub raise me on this side. We'll get a little Lombardi going over here.
Bird right, 18 premium diesel. Joe Montana, Buster Douglas, John Elway.
Come across hard and fast till he gets the ball. Once he gets it, to come under control and button hook slightly. Key the block on the linebacker, or key the block of the YN. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley. Come across.
There you go. A seal here and a seal here, and run the play in the alley. The great Vince Lombardi coaching him up.
It's him and Hank Stram between the two of those coaches being the best sound bites of the 60s.
Everybody grabbing out there. Grab. I mean, yeah, there was some great sound bites of the old NFL. I mean, that was in the NFL Films was in its heydays in the 60s and the 70s when people were digesting professional football. Unfortunately, again, not what the Cardinals wanted. Let's hear from Jonathan Gannon on Jacoby Brissett's performance in the loss to the Packers.
Thought he played well. I mean, we converted. It seemed like we converted some third downs, a couple third and longs. Stood in there, operated. I didn't think we had any operational issues, with the noise. He gave us a chance to win. I'm proud of him.
There you go. Again, that's all you can ask for, and he's done that really 2 weeks in a row as Jacoby Brissett, but just not enough. Can't find those winning plays. Can this organization? Trey McBride in the ball game had a couple of touchdowns. He had 10 catches for 74 yards. Let's hear from Trey McBride on Jacoby Brissett.
I think he's just a true pro. He's a guy who's been in this league for a long time. He's played in a lot of different systems, played a lot of football. So he's been around. He understands the game, and I have full confidence every time he's in there that we're going to go out and execute.
Yeah, and that's what I said last week. I mean, again, Jacoby Brissett is a guy, you can win with him. I mean, you can win with him if you got to go to your backup quarterback. He's the kind of backup quarterback that you want on your team. He's a veteran. He's won games at this level. He's started. He's not a guy that's going to take you to the postseason, and this team is not going to the postseason. They're not going to the postseason. But he can at least give you an opportunity to win every single week. You just got to be able to make a few more plays to make that happen, and right now the Cardinals haven't done that.
He also has led the NFL in sacks in a season.
Yeah, he does.
So the 6 is not super surprising.
Yeah,
no,
he does.
It's not. And the other part of it, too, also the thing that kind of makes it a little bit jarring for Jacoby Brissett versus Kyler Murray arguments, because they're going to start happening. That's going to be the natural cause of things. Trey McBride has about 38 games played with Kyler Murray. Trey McBride has 2 touchdowns in that time. And 2 games played with Jacoby Brissett, Trey McBride has 3 touchdowns. So needless to say, Trey McBride is getting the targets, especially in the red zone, when Jacoby's in there versus when Kyler's in there.
All right, Cricket joins us now. She is the 4th member of our team. Everybody's here on a Monday. I love it. It is, we're coming off the weekend, so we'll go around. Best thing, it's my favorite thing on Monday, best thing you did this past weekend, I slept in on Sunday.
I bet.
After our massive 14-plus hour day-long deal on Saturday. I
could
slept
not.
in.
I could not. I was up at 3:30
on
Sunday because my body was like, hey, you got up at 3:30 on Saturday, so I guess that's what we're doing now. But my best thing was a nap on Sunday afternoon.
Nap. Okay.
Yeah, at like noon, I was out for a couple hours. It was great. I don't do that very often.
I was out by 10:30 Saturday night, and that's really early for me. Like I'm usually not sleep by 10:30 on a Saturday night. But I was out cold by 10:30. So I was up. Actually, I got up right before kickoff. So I was up right before kickoff at 10. So I got a good solid 11 hours in on Saturday night, Sunday morning. Cricket, best thing you did this past weekend?
Went and looked at a possible townhouse that I might rent.
That you might rent?
Yes.
Like rent to live in or rent to buy?
Not rent to own.
Or rent to own?
No, not rent to own. Just rent to live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Outstanding. See, you and I are in the same thing. I'm looking at townhouses and condos and all kinds of things like that. So if you need any help, let me know. I've seen quite a few.
Oh, have you?
I've seen quite a few over the course of the last 6 months. Have not quite pinpointed anything that I'm really in love with.
Oh, okay.
But how many bedrooms are you looking for?
Like two, but it's really hard to find. Like I'm looking at a 3 right now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I don't really want that, but it looks like a good area. And my dog met the property owner today, and he did very well.
Oh, wow.
And they really got along.
Good test.
Yeah. And so he was like, "Oh, I don't care what breed. I just want to meet the dog first." And my dog's not bad, but he can be obnoxious, like jump on people. And he's not supposed to do that. Sometimes he forgets everything he's learned. I was like, just please don't jump on our potential new landlord. Please don't jump on him. And he got an A+ today. He got an A+ today for his assignment.
There you go. Well, hey, if you need any DIY, Dragon Ball's all over that.
I hear. Thanks for that offer, Dragon Ball.
As much as I can help.
Wink.
Yeah, did you know DK is always volunteering you to do housework for people?
I've been hearing about this, and I keep thinking to myself, I just got done with some painting in the pantry closet this last weekend, so I'm wondering what else I'm apparently going to be signed up for.
What's next?
Painting in the pantry closet.
Painting in the pantry closet.
That takes a skill because there's not a lot of space in there.
No, the main thing is that we're just painting over the spots where we're eventually going to be installing a new shelving line to go ahead and install all there's going to be a new dehydrator in the pantry closet, apparently.
What?
So that's a thing that apparently
he might as well be speaking Spanish to me because I have no idea what he's talking about.
Beef jerky.
You're going to make jerky,
fruit,
dehydrated
fruit strips.
fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're going to be the only person in Tucson with a dehydrator in
Yeah,
their
this is probably fair.
My
Pretty
world.
dehydrated to begin with.
Yes, exactly.
Is that like swamp cooling dehydrators?
Oh, no.
It takes the water out of the air, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't want a swamp cool. I remember being in one of those for back in the early 2000s. I don't want to do that again. They had it in a classroom where I was when I was growing
Ooh,
up.
ouch.
That was the worst.
Is that why you're moving? Because you've had it with the swamp cooler? Or?
Oh, no. We're not moving.
No,
We're
not
just,
you.
Cricket.
Oh, Cricket.
Cricket's a swamp cooler.
A little bit.
A native.
The homeowner that I rent from wants to sell, so
wow.
I have to.
Oh,
I have really no
okay.
choice.
That's
Literally,
situation.
the reason we bought the place we live in now 4 years
Yeah.
ago was because the place we had been renting, they decided they were going to put it up for sale.
Yeah. So
we could fall into that at some point, but not yet. So there you go. All
Moving.
right. Well, I'm glad everybody had a good weekend.
painting, napping. I like that.
We're just exciting people. I can't wait. There's no game Saturday, so I don't know what I'm going to do this weekend. I might be out of control.
So next Monday, this segment's going to be off
it's
going
to be off
I'm
the
coming back
charts,
from Flagstaff for me, so I'll let you know about how many tea shops I had to visit.
You're going to get lit.
I might have to go to the city or take a trip to Sedona or something
get cold.
like that.
It's 57 degrees up there
Maybe
right now.
I'll cross the border and go to Nogales. I don't know.
You need to drink some Snoop Dogg champagne, sir.
Yeah, I'll pop open my Snoop Dogg champagne and have mimosas all day and sit around and watch the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. It'll be bottomless mimosas at DK's house.
At your house.
There we go. All right. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Valencia and 6th Avenue, that was a reported building fire. Expect to see fire crews on scene. Collisions reported Duval Mine Road at I-19, Campbell and Broadway Boulevard, also Thornydale and Linda Vista. 59, the overnight low, 92 tomorrow and 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay. Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you'll love. eBay. things people love.
Here's your shot at winning $1,000. It's $5K a day on Wildcats Radio 1290. Text the national keyword ROLL right now to 95819. That's ROLL to 95819. We'll text you back to confirm your entry. Data and message rates may apply. Please don't text and drive.
Your shot at $5K a day is happening now. Listen for the national keyword 5 times each weekday. Then text the keyword to 95819. 5 winners, $1,000 each. $5K a day.
Kick off the savings now at Royal Buick GMC. Save on leases with zero due at signing and all taxes and fees included. That's right, you pay nothing down. Lease the new Buick Encore GX for $389 a month, the Buick Envision for $489 a month, or the GMC Sierra 1500 for $679 a month. All leases are 36 months with zero due at signing and all taxes and fees included. Or put $1,000 down and get into a GMC Canyon pickup for $499 a month for 36 months with taxes and fees included. Save big, up to $14,750 off a new GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab. OAC must lease with GM Financial. No security deposit. Lease mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. See dealer for details. B34025, B33964, G8915, G8546. Offers end 11/3/25. Kick off the savings now at Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
The Home Depot has everything you need to turn your home into a beacon of holiday cheer. So whether you're going all out or just adding a few holiday touches, we've got you covered with trees, yard decor, and more. Save time decorating with one of our easy-to-assemble pre-lit trees or pick up a piece from our Yuletide Lane decor collection and fill your yard with holiday joy. Whatever your style, find everything to get your holidays started at the Home Depot.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. There's a rumor that summer could finally be coming to an end. A big relief for us, but your car is probably still feeling the effects of the brutal summer heat. So now is the perfect time to stop by any of the 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a complimentary check of your tires, battery, brakes, coolant levels, and wiper blades. And if you're in the market for tires, you'll save big this month on our Arizona-proof collection of tires, like the smooth-riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. With factory rebates and instant savings, you'll get back up to $200. And we've got lots more tires that can tackle Arizona's extremes like BF Goodrich and Uniroyal with big savings right now. Visit jackfurriers.com to check out all the specials. And for fast, friendly service, you can make an appointment online. Call ahead or just drive up and find out why Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the locals' favorite for tires and automotive repair. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart Strategy does. Cumulus digital campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by over 25%. You're not average, and your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to leave average behind.
I'm Chris Rose with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. We start in London, where Matthew Stafford tossed 5 touchdowns, 3 of which went to Devontae Adams as the Rams made easy work of the Jags 35-7. Maybe the craziest game of the year went down in Denver, where the Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter, but still needed a last-second field goal to cool off the red-hot Giants 33-32. Kansas City improved to 4-3 after they blanked the Raiders 31-zip. Colts off to their best start since 2009 after they took down the Chargers Chargers 38-24 in L.A. CeeDee Lamb racked up 110 yards and a touchdown in his return from injury. Cowboys double up the Commanders 44-22. Eagles snap their two-game skid with a 28-22 win in Minnesota. And in Sunday Night Football, Christian McCaffrey over 200 total yards of offense. Niners improved to 5-2 after besting the Falcons 20-10. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us that number. You can text us at that number. Don't forget, head on over right now to Wildcats 1290, our Twitter account, and get in on our question of the day. Right now, we have a little bit of a split decision on Game 7 of the ALCS. Should you take the over? Should you take the under? Michael Jenkins from BetMGM Network says take the over 7.5. Joe Ostrowski from BetMGM Network says take the under 7.5. Let's talk to a guy that knows a little bit about Vegas. Brian Peterson, he's the lead writer over at AZ Desert Swarm, covering, I should say, Arizona Athletics. Brian, should we take the over or the under tonight in Game 7 of the ALCS? 7.5. It's been the over in 5 straight games in this series.
You know what? I think this one's going to be such a nail-biter as far as the stress level for both of these teams that it probably is going to be the under, and that it's just going to be, maybe like a 3-2. I'm a fan of chaos and maximum pain for teams, so maybe like 14 innings or something like that.
Oh, my gosh.
For extra stress on both fan bases.
Yeah, we don't want that for sure. We don't want that. That's a lot of baseball to be playing tonight. All right, so Brian Peterson says take the under 7.5 on that game tonight. First pitch coming up at 5:10. All right, Brian, let's talk about we'll talk football and basketball because obviously you cover both. Let's start with football. What are your top takeaways from this season, 7 games in? At the beginning of the season when I wrote down wins and losses, I had the Wildcats at 4-3. After 7 games, obviously 4-3 is extremely disappointing after a 4-1 start, and I felt like going into this 2-game set that they could come away with at least a split, and they were, if things went really well, you could be looking at 6-1 going into the bye, but it hasn't transpired that way with 2 close losses. What have kind of been your top takeaways from this season thus far?
I think I had them around 4-3 right now as well, and very easily could be 6-1 if a couple things go their way in these last 2 games. It just shows how close they were to being able to win those. But they're at that point in their, I guess, process where they're just good enough to get beat by a little bit rather than getting blown out like there was the case last year. I don't know if you have as much of the luxury anymore to be able to go through that methodical process to what's the old Terry Bowden thing, you lose by a lot, lose by a little, win by a little, win by a lot. And Arizona's in that lose by a little thing. This team is clearly better than the one last year, just across the board. That doesn't necessarily translate to the results. In some ways, you look between 22 and 23 under Jed Fish, that there was definitely, you could see improvement, but they were sitting at 3-3 after 6 games and a couple games that they could have won. And then things kind of turned from there. Arizona has that opportunity here after the bye. Whether it'll happen, they definitely have to fix the run defense, and they have to make sure that they're not making those little mistakes on offense and maximizing all their opportunities. But I still see getting to 6, if not more wins, as very doable for this team.
You know, and one of the things I think, going into the season, Brian, I said I thought defensively the weakness of this defense was going to be the linebackers, and I think that's kind of played out a little bit. And we heard Danny talk last week about how, you've got safeties coming down into the box and trying to be that middle linebacker maybe that this team doesn't have. And I think, when you've got a guy like Jacob Manu, I think a 2 linebacker system can work. But when you don't have, you've got to have at least one dominant linebacker, I think, on a defense. And right now, that's the biggest thing that this team is missing is they've got some good linebackers, but they don't have that dominant guy.
And I can see that. I mean, they've mentioned so much about the depth at that position that there's 6, 7, 8 different guys maybe who can contribute, which is great for the depth aspect. But if there isn't a big difference between the 1 and the 8, then you're as good as the 8th one. And that whole adage, if you have 3 quarterbacks, it means you don't have any, because you can't really decide on who the best ones are. And yeah, there really isn't anyone from that group that has really been outstanding. And Jacob Manu is a great example, and other people in the past that have been that dude. So it's kind of been where, like, this front 7 that they're using, front 6 or 7, whatever, is they don't have those standout players. And if that means that if anybody falls off, the whole group falls off. So it has been a bit of a struggle there with that. And the secondary is still the strength of this, and I understand why those safeties come down and all that, but they really need to have somebody in that front group, whether it be the defensive line, like off the edge, or in the middle, as you said, that has to be a lot more impactful.
I've said for the last couple of weeks, I feel like maybe Riley Wilson can be that guy. I asked Brent about that today. He said that they're kind of happy bringing him off the edge. Why do you think there's a reluctance to put him in the middle of the defense? I know, and I think about Blake Gocher was another guy who we thought, a big-time tackler from FCS that could have maybe been a guy that could have been somebody you could stick into the middle of this defense. And unfortunately, he's, had the injuries, and it hasn't really transpired for him just yet.
There must have just been something about with what they've seen from him so far in learning the defense and performing that he has a specific role rather than, that middle linebacker guy. I guess it's been Max Harris has been the one who has the little green dot that's getting communicated with Danny Gonzalez. It's the quarterback of the defense, and you need that person to be able to know what everything is going on there. And maybe through what they've evaluated with Riley, that he isn't that guy, that they want him to focus on specific things. And that, again, goes back to what you were saying about just having that kind of guy in the middle that does everything. Was Jacob Manu the fastest or the biggest? No, but he understood everything so that you could have him kind of running things. It really, like a Dalton Johnson or a Genesis Smith or a Traden Stukes is like the quarterback of this defense, but they're all the way on the back line. And I don't see them being moved up to the middle, to the linebacker level, to sacrifice the secondary.
We're chatting with Brian Peterson, AZ Desert Swarm. He writes everything Arizona football and Arizona basketball. Before we shift to basketball, Brian, let's talk a little bit about the offense. Noah Fifita's numbers, unbelievable in that ball game. I mean, you have essentially what was 7 possessions, and you scored on 4 of those 7 positions, 2 punts and the 1 that you didn't get on downs. Again, when you look, though, at his record, he's pretty much around 500. How do you see him? How do you see Noah Fifita? Is he a good, solid college quarterback? Is he a guy that still has a chance to be great?
I think he's a very good college quarterback. I mean, he's undersized and he has some physical limitations, but that he makes up for with his instincts and his ability to just kind of go with what is available there. He's going to finish number one in touchdown passes unless something crazy happens here. And depending on if he's back for one more year after this one, he'll be the all-time passing leader in terms of yardage. His ascension that redshirt freshman year is what turned that season around and made it a 10-win season. Since then, he doesn't have maybe the same pieces around him, and he's not that guy who can lead things all on his own. He does need help around him, and I think that's probably what separates him from being a really good college quarterback to being like an elite guy who's one of the best of all time.
All right, Brian, quickly, let's talk a little bit about the basketball team and 81-68 win over St. Mary's on Saturday. We kind of spoke about it earlier in the show. I sat next to a buddy of mine, and he asked me who's going to be the shot maker on this team. And one of the things we talked about at the beginning of the show was Anthony Del Orso, and obviously did not have a great game on Saturday, going just 1 for 7 for 3. This is a different situation this year. Last year, he didn't have to be the primary deep threat. Even though he shot 41% from 3, a lot of the pressure and point there went to Caleb Love. But this year, the pressure point is going to be on Anthony Del Orso to be that guy. Do you think he's got that in him to be the pressure guy that can make threes for this team?
I don't know, and I don't know how much they're going to necessarily want him to be. I think that he showed in this past game. Yes, it was an exhibition, but it was a quality opponent in St. Mary's. He was 5 for 5 inside the arc. And if he can show the ability to make shots like that, and then it causes opponents to have to take him more seriously inside the perimeter, it could open things up. I think he didn't really have like a lot of catch and shoot opportunities in this past game, which would make him a real weapon out there if that sets up. I don't know who this like big shot guy is going to be on this team. Is it going to be Braden Burries if you want to rely on a freshman like that? Is it going to be Jaden Bradley? But I think he's just so much better as a driver and a distributor and running things. That is one of the things that needs to get answered as we get closer on. And there's going to be a lot of close games in this season. So I wouldn't say that Del Orso is that guy, but I think he can be. So it is a big question, right?
Yeah, well, you got to find that guy because I just don't want that to be Jaden Bradley. I don't think you want to put that on your point guard to have to also be the guy that has to make three-pointers from the perimeter when needed. I like the soft touch I saw from Braden Burries, but again, a freshman, so that might be a lot to put on him. We'll begin to answer those questions here as we get closer to the start of the season on November the 4th. Brian Peterson, AZ Desert Swarm is the website. You can find them, obviously, on Twitter as well, all over AZ Desert Swarm. That is the Twitter handle. And Brian at Real BJP, at Real BJP. That's how you can find him and his work. Brian, as always, appreciate you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Brian Peterson, AZ Desert Swarm Cricket, getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives. We'll get you your Panthers report. It was a good day for the Panthers. Coming up next.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions that are reported at Thornydale and Linda Vista and Thornydale, and also Duval Mine Road at I-19. Valencia, east of 6th Avenue. That's reported as a building fire. Expect to see fire crews on scene. And for your weather, 59 the low, 92 tomorrow, 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on Verizon's 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
My hero!
To advertise up to 40% off at Tobacco Barn, paying no city or state sales tax, and saving up to $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com, I'm going to jump from this airplane at 30,000 feet.
I hope he's careful.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation.
Wait, where's the ripcord?
And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Oh no, he forgot his parachute.
I did it!
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco!
Captain, you seem a little shorter.
I prefer vertically challenged, my dear.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Or did everyone else get taller?
Oh, brother. Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
Hello, everybody. Gary, why are you wearing a... Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that? Yeah, but... And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications. Yeah, but... Then Gary says something ridiculous. Yeah, but... And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather. Yeah, but... And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns. Yeah, but... And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing. Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask. Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater. My ski mask isn't stupid looking. Look who's wearing it. I choose to ignore that remark. Because you know another one is coming. Take off that stupid ski mask. See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here? I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. There's a rumor that summer could finally be coming to an end. A big relief for us, but your car is probably still feeling the effects of the brutal summer heat. So now is the perfect time to stop by any of the 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a complimentary check of your tires, battery, brakes, coolant levels, and wiper blades. And if you're in the market for tires, you'll save big this month on our Arizona-proof collection of tires, like the smooth-riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. With factory rebates and instant savings, you'll get back up to $200. And we've got lots more tires that can tackle Arizona's extremes like BF Goodrich and Uniroyal with big savings right now. Visit jackfurriers.com to check out all the specials. And for fast, friendly service, you can make an appointment online. Call ahead or just drive up and find out why Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the locals' favorite for tires and automotive repair. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward, so listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
This is Bill Ryder of the Sports Minute, sponsored by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Despite the 4-3 record, the Kansas City Chiefs are absolutely the team to beat in the AFC. Rashee Rice's return has sparked an offense that could be one of the best in football going forward, and the Chiefs are playing at a ridiculous level across both sides of the football. They're back. I'm Bill Ryder.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too.
It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Don't forget, I've got a keyword coming up for you. Your chance to win $1,000. It's our 5K a day giveaway. Only 8 more days of this, 7 after today, to have a chance to get in on some really good money. Wouldn't you like to have a grand in your hand? Wouldn't you like to have a grand in your hand? We'll talk some more Arizona basketball coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. Ryan Hansen will join us. He is the analyst on the Arizona Wildcats radio network. Worked the game this past weekend with Brody Dryden. We'll get Rhino's thoughts on what he saw, who he thinks the outside scoring threat is going to be for this team. Rhino always great when it comes to the basketball analysis side of it. Carolina Panthers got a win yesterday on the road against the team in the NFL that still is without a victory, the New York Jets. It was a pretty good day for Xavier Legette.
The snap to fake to Hubbard. Rolling right. Now Young rolls back to his left. Eyes up. Young throws. End zone. Diving catch. Legette. Touchdown Carolina.
That was the only touchdown of the day in this game, and it came on a drive in the second quarter, a drive that was prolonged when the Panthers were able to convert on this 4th and 3.
Waist-high snap. Bryce fires. He finds McMillan for a first down at the 35 of New York. It is a gain of 10.
Not a huge game for one Tetero McMillan on Sunday, but he did have 3 catches for 33 yards in the contest. 13-6 late in the game, and the Panthers with the ball trying to ice this one away. Again, we went calling for one Xavier Legette.
Now he motions off the left tip of Dalton. Andy the snap, back to throw, launches deep downfield. Legette and just makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. It's been a career game for Xavier Legette. They went for the haymaker.
They did indeed. Xavier Legette, 9 catches, 92 yards, had that touchdown in the contest, and 13-6, Panthers win. Now, you heard in that last highlight there, Anish Shroff, the play-by-play man for the Panthers, mentioned Andy Dalton was in the game at that point. That's because Bryce Young suffered an injury to his ankle and had to depart the game. So Andy Dalton had to come in and finish things out. He was 4 for 7 down the stretch, 60 yards in the win. What is going to be the status of Bryce Young? Panthers have a game coming up this weekend at home. And so another opportunity. They are now over 4-3. Let's get your Panthers report for today.
This Panther Update is brought to you by UNC Charlotte.
The defense dominates. I'm Anish Shroff with his Panthers Update.
Charlotte's momentum has a name, UNC Charlotte. 32,000 students strong, ranked among the nation's top 75 public universities, recognized at the highest level for research, unmatched access to Fortune 500 companies, built for a top-tier city. This isn't typical higher ed. The difference is scale. The difference is momentum. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
Doing a lot of around-the-house work. A new tub. We had to break up the concrete, reset the pipe.
You're going to start your own show?
Not a chance. I'm not a big HGTV guy.
How much of that work are you doing yourself?
The stripping was kind of my job. I ended up taking
stripping?
I took out the linoleum. I stripped out the linoleum.
Am I not paying you enough money that you got to strip for a living? DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Carolina rode its defense to a 3rd straight win on Sunday. J.C. Horn picked off 2 passes. Derek Brown batted 3 passes down. And rookie Nick Scorton recorded his first 2 career sacks.
We don't go out there and worry about the offense. Obviously, just have a really good defense. We're trying to go out and compete those guys. We're trying to have a better day than those guys. So, the guys, giving up a little bit early and then being stout in the run, letting us get after the quarterback. It was amazing. The defense traveled today. We got the win. It was just amazing.
In a game where the offense only scored 13 points, it was the D that kept the Jets out of the end zone. Head coach Dave Canales.
Yeah, it did require a lot of discipline, and there was an approach to it and a game plan for the known pass situations, and then the gun zone read, the run game, the different things that they had that are really challenging. But the guys really just executed the plan, and for the most part kept them in there, kept them in the pocket, and forced them to have to hand the ball off to the backs. And we're stout on the inside, and so if we can force that handoff, then we give ourselves a chance that way.
It was the second time this season Carolina has held an opponent without a touchdown. The Panthers blanked the Falcons in Week 3. I'm Anae Schroff on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
This Panther Update has been brought to you by UNC Charlotte, built for a top-tier city. The difference is Charlotte. UNC Charlotte.
All right, so again, the bad news, though, when you're talking about the Carolina Panthers for this weekend's game against the Buffalo Bills, that'll be a home game down in Charlotte, is that Bryce Young has a high ankle sprain. Now, head coach Dave Canales came out today and said that Bryce will be day-to-day. Tom Pelissero, who is obviously an NFL insider with NFL Network, reported that the Panthers are expecting that Bryce Young will miss the game this weekend at home coming up against the Buffalo Bills. We'll see if Dave Canales has anything new to say. Panther Talk comes your way right after we leave the air today at 6:05. You'll hear Panther Talk again. No Brent Brennan show from the Union Public House, with Arizona being in their bye week. So Panther Talk moves up an hour from 7:05 to 6:05, and then at 7 o'clock, the second game of Monday Night Football tonight. It'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Houston Texans. Right now, Detroit and Tampa Bay playing game 1 of the Monday Night Football doubleheader tonight in Detroit, and the Lions early with a 7-zip lead over Tampa Bay. But, don't sleep on the Buccaneers, because they know how to come back in games. They have done it all season long. Last night, Sunday Night Football. How about yesterday again? We had both of your South Point Catholic Lancers right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. We had Lathan Ransom early in the day with the Carolina Panthers, and then Sunday Night Football, we had Bijan Robinson on our airwaves as the 49ers and the Falcons did business last night. Unfortunately for Bijan and company, they could not parlay the success they had on Monday night into another win on national TV, falling to the San Francisco 49ers by a score of 20-10. Christian McCaffrey, 24 carries, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. But how cool, guys, after the game, we've heard Bijan talk in the offseason and early into the season how he worked out and trained with Christian McCaffrey this season, and the two of them exchanging jerseys after the game, and Christian McCaffrey writing on his jersey to Bijan that you are the best in football right now. How about that from the veteran to the young guy?
Maybe you should give him his runner-up Heisman Trophy.
That actually would be really nice. No, but with those two, that was an amazing performance. Again, granted, the stats didn't show it, but you could see how much both of those defenses were dedicated to saying, we're not going to let that guy be the one to beat us. McCaffrey just ended up being the guy who ended up getting into the end zone. But again, Bijan got in there too. It's just eventually how well do you do stopping the unstoppable force? And both those guys had a pretty good performance, to say the least.
McCaffrey, 24 of 129 on the ground, 7 catches, 72 yards. So he had, what is that, my U-High math? I think that is 201 total yards for Christian McCaffrey. Bijan, you mentioned, had a touchdown through the air, 6 of 52 catching, 14 of 40 on the ground, so he had 102 total yards. Did Bijan, Christian McCaffrey? I think they had anointed it the running back of the year or something game or something of that nature, and there was a coat that they gave to Christian McCaffrey after the game, 20-10. The 49ers remain on top in the NFC West now with a 5-2 mark. Atlanta falling to 3-3 on the season. All right, hour number 2 in the books. Hour number 3, we're going to give you at the top of the hour. We'll give you which way we're going on this BetMGM Network stalemate, taking the over or the under in the ALCS. We'll tell you which way we're going when we come back after the top of the hour. We're also going to talk to Ryan Hansen at 5:20. We'll get his thoughts on Arizona basketball. Dragon Ball is here with everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona, as well as sports around the world.
Well, looking around the U of A campus for other results, it was a strong weekend for the swimming and diving team. Multiple finishes for other team members in the top 15 at the World Cup this past weekend. Jane Bradley led the charge for the Wildcats in their exhibition win over St. Mary's, while Mateus Crivas finished with a double-double in his first game since December of 2024. The cross-country men finished in first at the Highlander Invitational, while the women finished in fifth. Volleyball swept their weekend with victories over both UCF and Houston, while soccer, however, took their 5th straight loss in a shutout against ranked Texas Tech. And the Suns' opening day roster looks to be undergoing their final cleanup as the team announced the release of guards Jared Butler and David Duke Jr. The move looks to cement Colin Gillespie as one of the rotational minute earners coming into the season opener. Grayson Allen expected to take in some minutes, filling in for an injured Jalen Green due to his early hamstring issues. It all comes down to Game 7 in Toronto, and this time it's not on the ice, but it is on the diamond instead. The Blue Jays force a winner-take-all contest in a victory in Game 6, their first win at home in the ALCS so far this series. With Shane Bieber going for the Blue Jays, it will be George Kirby getting the nod as Seattle manager Dan Wilson spoke on the approach for the pitching, as well as the idea of pitching maybe at or around Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
I don't know that we have a set thing for George tonight. George he rises to the occasion often, and we hope that George can go 6 or 7 for us. That would be ideal. But we'll just again see how the game unfolds. In terms of Vladdy, he has swung the bat extremely well, and this postseason has been no exception to that, and a guy that's been very dangerous. So again, as we talked about a little bit last night, a guy that you have to be very wary of there in the middle of the lineup, and I think that is something that we will definitely consider as we go forward tonight.
This will be the first ever Game 7 ever played for the Seattle Mariners franchise as a whole going into tonight. First pitch, 10 minutes past the top of the hour coming up. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Your home for U of A football.
Nobody will catch him. Touchdown, Arizona.
Men's basketball.
Midcourt. Shot is up. Good.
And baseball.
Here comes the winning run. And the Cats have won it.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Valencia, east of 6th Avenue, that was reported as a building fire. Also collisions Overton and Thornydale, and also Duval Mine Road at I-19. Some slowing on westbound Grant approaching I-10. Earlier crash reported Grant Road in Fairview. And I'm Cricket with your traffic and your weather. 59 the low, 92 tomorrow, and 88 now. That's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Starbucks.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks.
Handcrafted with their signature espresso
and real pumpkin sauce.
Ooh. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon,
and nutmeg.
PSL. Get it while it's hot.
Or iced. Only at Starbucks.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/play.
Valentine Plumbing reminds all the proud and honorable men and women of our military are still overseas sacrificing their lives for our country. Please don't forget our brave heroes. This message from Valentine Plumbing, top quality and dependable service backed by a name you know and trust. For all your plumbing needs, whether it's service, repairs, commercial, or residential, give the pros a call that do it all at 520-444-9359. That's Valentine Plumbing, on the air, people who care.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 3 of our show on this Monday. A bye week. We heard from the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats today after the Wildcats lost, football-wise, lost to the Houston Cougars over the weekend on a walk-off field goal, 31-28, a game the Wildcats got off to a quick 7-0 lead on a touchdown pass by Noah Fafita to Trey Spivey that went for, I think it was 70 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Then they fell behind by a pair of touchdowns. A 19-play, 9-minute drive in the third quarter that literally took the majority of the quarter away. There was a drive and a half between the two teams in that third quarter. And the frustrating thing about that 19-play drive, a number of things were frustrating. One, that was the drive where you had the call on the sideline that did not get overturned. The ball that was caught on a third down play that might have led to allowing Arizona to get off the field. You had the 15-yard penalty called against Bobby Wade, which upon further review should probably have not been a penalty. It was not one of those situations like what we had with CeeDee Lamb in the preseason in the NFL where the referee was running down the sideline like referees do and ran right into CeeDee Lamb. It was not a situation like that. It was really kind of an incidental contact situation, which probably should not have resulted in a penalty whatsoever, but it did. And then you had the Houston Cougars convert on 5 conversion downs in that drive, 4 third downs, and 1 4th down. And again, it goes back to if you can just get one of those to go your way, you got a chance to get off the field, and that drive maybe does not result in points, but they couldn't. And that was probably one of the drives that turned the game. And then there was also the play at the end of the second quarter. And I had a chance to chat during the press conference today with Brent Brennan about the play calling in terms of 4th down, how that works. They've been going for it a lot, and they've been pretty successful this season. Let's hear a little bit of my conversation with Brent Brennan today in respects to how the Wildcats are handling 4th down.
Coach, obviously you've had a ton of success in the 4th down piece this year and going forward. What is the conversation like with you and Seth on those calls? I would imagine you tell him, I want to go for it, and then how does it evolve from there? Do you discuss what you want in that situation, or does he have to?
Yeah, it has to happen pretty fast, right? It has to happen pretty quickly when you got a play clock burning. But lots of times that'll happen on the previous play, right? So we're 3rd and long or 3rd and medium, and I'll say, hey, you got 2 downs here. So that Seth can make the, play call before 4th down, knowing that he's got another shot at it, right? So that opens up a little bit more to the idea. But, the other person that's been great with that has been Danny, right? Because, sometimes when you do those things, if you don't get it, you're putting the defense in a tough situation. But Danny's ready to play defense anywhere. So it's the conversations between the 3 of us have been really, really positive.
Coach, you mentioned on the 4th and 1 you didn't get that was a designed run play to hand it off. All 3 of the ones were run plays. You were obviously successful on the other 2. But what's the RPO element in that in terms of Noah's ability to make the decision whether to keep it a straight run or to keep it and go? And how's he doing in that respect, do you think?
He's doing great in that respect. And I think that there's a difference there, right? That was not a called RPO. That was a straight called run. Very different, right? Run PO or RPO is run pass option. Right. He can do either. And he's really good at that stuff, you know what I mean? And so I think that's why you see him hitting some of those throws, 24 or 26. You know what I mean? Like, it's him making good decisions with the ball in his hand.
Now, just quick, then he said after the game, though, he should have pulled it. So he didn't, but that wasn't an option there for him to pull it.
Pulling it and throwing it are 2 different things, right? Because on that play, there was not a pass option, right?
So he could have pulled it and
He could have pulled it and kept it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I probably did not ask that question the way that I should have on that, because I think I confused Brent a little bit there when I asked the question in terms of RPO, because really what I was trying to get at there was the run option is really how I should have asked that in terms of, Noah's abilities and how he is in the situations where it's zone read is how I probably should have phrased it. It's zone read, and he either allows the running back to take the ball on the run, or he keeps it and runs himself. That's really the gist of where we're trying to get in terms of how Noah is making those decisions in zone read, when to give it to the running back and when to keep it and read that defensive end and try to get yards himself. And I think he's right now a little reluctant to keep the ball in those instances where there's an opportunity maybe for him to get yardage on his own.
Before Saturday, the completion percentage record for Arizona quarterbacks was Anu Solomon's 84.6%. Noah Fifita was 93% in that game, 24 out of 26. And I haven't heard anybody talk about that.
No.
I mean, obviously it jumps off the page. The loss is what you're going to talk about. I just think Noah Fafita put on a crazy road performance for the ages. And when you hear Seth Dagey, DK, talk about those exchanges, he talks about it in ways that I've communicated what we want. We're obviously not always on the same page. New offensive coordinator, what he wants from, RPO is not exactly Noah's forte.
No.
And that being said, if it's a handoff and he has the option to read that hole and keep it himself, I don't know how second nature that is, DK, for him. I don't know if Noah, I didn't watch a ton of film outside of highlight tapes of him in high school, but I know in his first time here on campus, the run game, was not featured because their featured running back only played one game last year, right? And Coleman and those guys got a lot of carries a couple of years ago, but that was passes setting up the run or vice versa. It's so tricky, man. It's so tricky to have the quarterback in real time, read that hole, decide whether or not to keep it or not, and especially on a 4th and 1. But to me, you just have to be so decisive in those moments. You have to have something called that you can block well, that you can get 1 yard because, DK, you just said it. 230-plus yards rushing for Houston. 2 guys with 100 yards with 5+ per carry average is why Arizona lost that game up the middle. 1 first down here. Maybe they keep that drive alive, score some points. I would like to first and foremost celebrate Noah Fafita for what an amazing game he had through the air, if not for the win. 24 for 26 is crazy.
Not to mention 24 for 26, and he could have been 26 for 26. One of the incompletions he had was a drop pass. The other one was a ball that was tipped at the line of scrimmage by a defensive lineman. There's a good chance he could have completed all 26 of his passes. And, yeah, the running game for Houston was the thing that ended up hurting him because it was not until the second quarter where Houston really started to utilize the running back option at the quarterback position because they were using Weigman primarily as a handoff and a thrower in the first quarter, and then they changed that in the second, and they had him be more so, okay, you're gonna do our RPO, and you're gonna be running the ball up the middle. We don't talk enough about. There's a segment in the second quarter that I think of very vividly when the punt goes out at the 4-yard line. And we're thinking, oh, okay, this is an opportunity for this Wildcat defense to pin their ears back and try to get behind the line of scrimmage, get some tackles for a loss. Weigman ends up running the ball for 11 yards on one of the first 2 plays coming out of that punt. He just gets it, and he goes for 11, 8, 9, 10 yards at a time. He was averaging about 5-something yards per carry, but there were chunk plays he was getting the full first down yardage on one play. So, yeah, Fafita having the issues with the RPO, trying to understand when to let it be a run, when to bring it down, when to pull it, all this other stuff. The offense isn't really the problem right now in my mind. It's they got to get the meat back in the middle of the defensive line to keep those quarterback options because you're not running a toss play with a quarterback. You're not going outside the tackle on a quarterback run unless you're trying to do the Georgia Tech option where you're pitching it out at the last possible moment.
Well, there were a couple big runs you mentioned on that drive by Connor Weigman, and the first one you were talking about there was on the 3rd and 3. Dominic Lalicio got blocked up, and one of the things that Coach talked about was missed tackles today. You had a missed tackle by Javion Cole. You had a missed tackle by Dalton Johnson in that respect. And then, of course, the other big play was the screen pass. I'm not sure exactly what happened on that. We didn't get a chance. That was probably a question we should have gotten into, Coach, what happened on that screen pass that got away from them. They looked like they got caught in a blitz, and nobody had the running back,
Wet
Connors,
ball?
coming out of the
that was the game before.
No, yeah, it was the game before, yeah. Nobody had the running back coming out of the backfield, and Connors went for 33 yards. And again, that was on another third down opportunity play.
Got to be the most frustrating thing for Arizona.
Actually, that was 4th down.
Arizona fans, right? Because again, it's a game of inches. You win or you lose. There's no moral nonsense. We're not talking about that. However, that 74-yard pass play by BYU, right? Like there's a couple of plays here and there, and you talk about Connor Weigman. Those big pickups with his feet is really what led to that loss. And you should clean up a couple of those, get a couple of tackles. It's literally that. It seems that simple. And that's what I'm talking from the fan base, who's yearning for a bowl season, wanting to compete for the conference title and wanting it to happen right now. Don't go online if you're a person who's a positive, has a positive outlook because, it's all negative. And I don't see it that way. I just think that they are a couple of bodies short. DK, how long have you talked about their linebackers going into the season potentially being a group that could be problematic?
Yeah.
Well, these last couple of games, they've lost to BYU and they've lost to Houston quite simply because they couldn't stop the run at key moments when they just needed to get one tackle in the box. So I think that the program as a whole is heading completely in the positive direction. I don't know that they have quite the bodies. I don't know if playing so many DBs against teams and not having the option of having a middle linebacker like that that transferred out, right? I mean, the guys you expect to make those tackles isn't here in an Arizona uniform this year. So I'm not trying to sprinkle, confetti and make something positive that isn't. I'm not trying to say that they haven't lost these games in a row. However, I just think that it's one play here, one play there, just like the Cardinals fan base. They're on the cusp of being competitive, and it's just unfortunate that 2 weeks in a row, one play would have made the difference.
All right, here's something positive. How about a $5K a day giveaway? Your chance right now to win $1,000. Now, you have until 7 o'clock to get this keyword into the short code 95819, but your chance to win $1,000. We're giving away $1,000 5 times a day. That's why it's called the 5K a day giveaway. We give you a keyword. You can text that keyword. We'll text you back a reply that we got that keyword. You might have text rates, messaging rates. They may apply, and we don't want you to text and drive. So pull over right now. Put that short code in your phone, 95819, and title it DK's giving away money, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to give you that keyword right now. The final keyword of today is roll. Roll. Text roll right now to 520-848-1290. Your chance to win $1,000 in our, I'm sorry?
You gave them our number.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, not our number. Thank you very much. 95819. Text it to 95819. There's so many numbers here. I get confused sometimes. Text roll to 95819, and you have a chance to win $1,000. It's the 5K a day giveaway here on Wildcats Radio 1290. All right. We'll talk some Arizona basketball straight ahead. Ryan Hansen will join us, the great analyst for your Arizona Wildcats on the radio. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. 22nd Street and Craycroft, brush fire reported, Craycroft and 22nd. Collision at Pantano and Golf Links and Pantano. Backups for traffic on Campbell at Glen due to road work down to one lane. Use Tucson Boulevard or Mountain Avenue instead. 59 the overnight low. 92 tomorrow and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Hello, everybody. Gary, why are you wearing a... Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that? Yeah, but... And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications. Yeah, but... Then Gary says something ridiculous. Yeah, but... And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather. Yeah, but... And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns. Yeah, but... And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing. Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask. Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater. My ski mask isn't stupid looking. Look who's wearing it. I choose to ignore that remark. Because you know another one is coming. Take off that stupid ski mask. See? And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today. What did we accomplish here? I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. In a rematch of last year's NWSL Championship, the Orlando Pride edged the Washington Spirit in a 3-2 thriller on Saturday. It was a huge win for the Pride, who are pushing to lock up a top 4 seed and a home playoff game next month. For Washington, it marked their first loss since June, snapping a remarkable 16-match unbeaten streak. Orlando defender Carrie Abello gave up an own goal in the 35th minute, but just 2 minutes later, she redeemed herself with a rocket from outside the box, her first goal of the season. Now, she and the Pride have their sights set on going back-to-back.
I think it's a huge sign that we're headed in the right direction and hopefully peaking at the right moment. And yeah, I think it's looking good and we're creating that momentum to take into playoffs.
The NWSL playoffs kick off November 7th. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Olivia Harlan Decker on Westwood One.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Right, stops, passes it down to McKeever, and it goes right by McKeever, stolen away by Jaden Bradley. Bradley the other way, and the fast break. Bradley lays it in for 2 and 1. What a run here by Jaden Bradley. He's had a great game, and he's up to 20 points, finishing through contact, showing his strength. Arizona is now on a 13-2 run.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to bring you all of the basketball insights from our Arizona Insiders. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans. Modelo, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
We are in an era of exhibition games with Division I opponents now in college basketball. Wildcats over the weekend knocked off St. Mary's 81-68 at McHale Center. Sun Devils are going to play Texas A&M in one of their 2 exhibition games. UCLA and San Diego State going to do battle as well. So something new that we haven't had around these parts in college basketball for a while. Let's talk with the guy that called it on the radio over the weekend here, Ryan Hansen, longtime analyst on the Wildcats Radio Network. Ryan, always appreciate the opportunity to chat with you. What are your thoughts on this new era of Division I exhibitions and the excitement that that's going to bring to, what normally would have been, still maybe an exciting game because it's always exciting to go see Arizona basketball at McHale Center, but against a lesser opponent that you knew you were probably going to beat by 20-plus points.
I love the idea and what is happening in college basketball where you're getting a true test, and you really are tested. Arizona was tested a little bit on Saturday. The positional size that St. Mary's brought to the table was much different than what you would see from a Division II or III or even an NAIA foe like they're going to face a week from tonight in Embry-Riddle. So I think Tommy Lloyd has done a nice job of the combination of having a really good, fundamentally sound opponent in St. Mary's who's been to the NCAA tournament 3 out of the last 4 years, so you're going to get high-quality competition, blending that with a game that maybe you could utilize some more of your bench to get some minutes under the bright lights, bright stage. I like this new version of college basketball where exhibition games actually are fun to watch from a fan perspective, but more importantly, even more useful for a coaching staff to improve upon the early part of the season.
Yeah, it's interesting, Ryan. That was one of the things I kind of asked Tommy Lloyd last week is like the dilemma of this is an exhibition game that doesn't count, but you also, because it's against a really good opponent, you don't necessarily want to lose it at home. Were you surprised he played Moteus Krivas and Jaden Bradley 30-plus minutes in this game?
A little bit, and I think you're right. You do not want to lose the exhibition game. Unfortunately, the reality, David, you know this. If Arizona loses that game, it means absolutely nothing other than press release and press clippings, right?
Yeah.
That becomes a relative story in college basketball that, Arizona lost an exhibition game. But you've seen other high-level programs even recently lose exhibition games that you wouldn't necessarily expect them to do in the regular season. So for all intents and purposes, it didn't mean anything. But I think Tommy wanted to make sure that he was building confidence, too, for this team to continue to be ready for 2 weeks from tonight, which is thrown into the fire with Florida.
Ryan Hansen joining us, Arizona basketball analyst. So, Ryan, what were your kind of top takeaways from the game itself and what you saw from the team?
I'll start with the returning guys because I think they deserve the credit. Jaden Bradley is everything you expect and hope to him to come back to be a leader, someone who can take over a game when need be. And I know this is small sample size, so I'm not getting carried away. So every comment I make, this isn't the full story on the season. It still is early October, relatively speaking. But I think Jaden Bradley's fitting the bill with the leadership responsibilities that he's taking on. I believe that when you look at the newcomers, Braden Burries and Koa Pete are going to be as advertised. They physically fit the bill. They look the part. They don't look like freshmen. They look like they're ready to contribute. And then watching their movements on the floor, they're smooth. They're fluid. Braden Burries is going to be a go-to player for Arizona. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot in the backcourt. Koa Pete is going to battle with any and every front line that he's going to face this year. He's not going to back down to anybody because of his motor and his intensity, but physically he'll be able to pound and athletically be good enough to handle pretty much anything that's thrown at him. So those two guys are impressive. There's more players to talk about individually, but I will say it's so early. There is some defensive work to be done, BK. There was quite a few breakdowns, a lot of, as we like to call it in college basketball circles, straight line drives to a St. Mary's team that you would not expect Arizona to give up a straight line drive to the basket. There's some coverages that need to be improved upon. And then my last take, and we can dive in a little deeper, is the lack of Tobe Awaka in the lineup is evident. That guy takes up space defensively. He is versatile defensively, and the rebounding numbers were a direct hit to not having Tobe on the floor.
Rhino, we know what St. Mary's brings. I mean, the Gales have been a top 10 defensive program for many years, decades now. My question is, I was telling DK, I just wanted to see how the young guys match the intensity. We know what the Big 12 gauntlet was like last year. Maybe some guys like Del Orso might not have been up to it right at the start, really kind of got it figured out halfway through. But how did it look from the freshman's perspective of matching that Gales size and intensity defensively? Because they're about to get into it. Like you just said, Florida's right around the corner. How did they step up and match what the Gales were bringing?
You're right, J-Dub. There's a few notches that they're going to all need to increase upon in 2 weeks from tonight. I already spoke about the heralded freshmen and Pete and Burries. I'll shift gears maybe to talk about Aristrode and Karchenkov. I was actually very impressed with those two guys. It may not have shown up statistically in the categories that you would want, the glass. I talked about that on the post-game show, how Karchenkov and Aristrode are going to have to do better than a combined 1 rebound between the two of them. That's a lot of the defensive intensity I think you're referring to, is seeking the basketball and being in and around the basket area with a level of effort and intensity that you're going to have to match a Florida and beyond. But those two guys to me look like they filled the part. They've got extra notches to get to, as I mentioned, but I think they looked fluid. They looked like they were not afraid of the moment. They didn't back down. And even in Karchenkov's case, I thought he looked better in the second half than he did the first half. He showed significant improvement in just being up to the pace of a college basketball game versus the FIBA rules that he's used to in the international game. I thought he made improvements. So they will improve as the season goes along. There will be definitely defensive schematic things that they're going to have to work on. But to your point, I think this group is going to be able to match the defensive intensity that it will be required to match to be competitive in these non-conference tough battles.
Yeah, Houston, Texas Tech, they say hi. They're coming. They're in the league.
Ryan Hansen is our guest. He is the analyst on the Arizona Wildcats Radio Network. Ryan, you mentioned the freshmen and defense in that ball game. Koa Pete got beat on a couple of back doors. What is he going to have to do? Obviously, first time out there against real competition. What's he going to have to do to be more mindful of protecting that as he moves forward into the real game?
Yeah, he's going to have to communicate with teammates. He's going to have to understand what his responsibilities are, and they're vast because he's going to be asked to be a rim protector, but he's also going to be asked to defend big men and players that have versatility in space. When he's, on the floor with Mo, he's going to be asked to guard a four-man who most likely will be stepping out to shoot threes, ball fake drives, cutting without the ball, as you alluded to. So I think Poe is going to have to recognize what his role is a little bit better and more defined in this system. And we see this all the time with freshmen. One of the biggest transitions is recognizing that you cannot make up for defensive lapses with your athleticism and size at the Division I elite level like you did in high school. You could get beat and you could recover because that guy cutting to the basket is most likely smaller than you, can't jump as high as you, and maybe not as quick as you, because I think Koa Pete's pretty quick for his size. So you can overcome those deficiencies defensively at the high school level that when you get to the college level and especially the elite level, you aren't going to make up for those breakdowns with your physical abilities. And so being more cognizant of what your responsibilities are, it will help you in the long run. And it is a laboratory for Coach, and I like to call him Professor Lloyd. Right now, he's in the lab tinkering with all of these different combinations. And Koa Pete will get better. You know that. We've seen that with Tommy. But defensively, he's going to be relied upon. So that's going to be something he's got to focus on early.
Anthony Del Orso in that game, 5 for 5 from 2, 1 for 7, though, from 3. And one of the things we were talking about earlier on the show, Ryan, was like, he shot 41% from 3 last year, but he didn't have to be that main guy because that was Caleb Love's kind of job on this team. Is this a year where they're going to depend on Anthony Del Orso to be the primary shooter, and there's a different level of pressure that comes with that? And can Anthony can he live up to that pressure point that it takes to be the dominant 3-point shooter on a team that's expects to go to the Sweet 16?
Right, it's a great point, DK. I'm not one that likes to tab one individual player at the college basketball level as, well, you're the shooter, so you will be asked to hit every shot, every big shot, or be the capital T shooter for this team. With that said, for Arizona to realize its goals, and I would argue it's deeper than just the Sweet 16, there's no doubt Anthony Del Orso will have to be a reliable, if not threatening, 3-point shooter beyond his 41% from a year ago. And I listened to your guys' post-game show after I departed McHale, and you're right in asking the question of, okay, 4 for 16 from the 3-point line, not going to get too worried about it in an exhibition game. But when we look at the course of the year, that percentage is not going to get it done.
Yeah.
And Anthony Del Orso cannot go 1 for 7 in a game, then the next game go 1 for 6, and then go 4 for 5, and then go back to 1 for 7, 2 for 8. That he needs to become a more consistent threat for Arizona to realize what it wants to do offensively and ultimately then its objectives to go deep in the tournament. He is a key part of their outside production.
Yeah, last year, Rhino, like when Arizona struggled offensively, it was a lot of drop. It was a lot of, we don't trust that you can make these shots from the outside. And there were guys last year, Caleb can knock down shots, Jaden Bradley obviously as well, Del Orso. But with this roster and the number of drivers and post-up guys, if you're not running some kind of high-low, it's not necessarily just Anthony Del Orso, but the importance of those guys with the green light from coaching staff, letting it fly with confidence when they do have an open shot, make or miss, you need to take those shots just to keep the defense honest because they're going to be looking for a lot of driving lanes, and they're not going to be running any kind of 5-out sets to get those lanes. So when you do have motion and you do get an open shooter in the corner, you got to let it fly. 1 for 7 or not, shoot with confidence.
Yeah, and like you said, it goes beyond just Del Orso. Arizona's going to need Jaden Bradley to be – he doesn't need to be a volume 3-point shooter, but he's going to have to take and make more than he has ever in his career to be that threat at the point guard spot. I think Braden Burries will be fine. I think he's going to contribute at a very high level from the 3-point line, but players like a Karchenkov off the bench and Aristrode, both of those guys – need to be reliable and need to, as you put it, J-Dub, not be afraid to take that shot. Don't just put your head down and drive it to the rim, which I think both of them have that ability. And I think in Karchenkov's case, showed a little bit of a knack in and around the basket to get to the rim and finish. Both those guys are going to have to finish shots. And then my last take on the perimeter side of things is I felt Evan Nelson is a definite upgrade for Arizona on the backup point guard responsibilities. Jaden Bradley averaging 36 minutes a game is problematic. I felt even at the end of last year, he might have had less tread on the tires than needed to be come into a tournament time. So Evans early season, can he spell Jaden for enough time? Can Braden Burry's combination, a few minutes, steal a few minutes with him at the point, which I think he would love to have that opportunity to expand his game in time. Those guys, I think, will be critical, and Evan's going to have to knock down shots to be able to be called upon. It's not just be solid defensively. He's going to have to hit shots, which he did. Hit one in front of the Arizona bench. I thought that was a good confidence booster for him, but thought that was a good sign to have a more reliable backup for Jaden this campaign.
There you go. Yeah, and it was a great ball movement to get him that open shot there in that game on Saturday. Ryan, we'll always appreciate the chance to talk to you. Looking forward to doing it again this year. Embry-Riddle, a week from tonight, 7 o'clock tip-off at McHale Center. You'll be back alongside the main man, Brian Jeffries, and we'll look forward to that call.
Excited to have Brian back, but boy, having Brody on the call last Saturday, always a pleasure to call a game with either the son or the goat. Either way, it works out great.
There you go. Yeah, Brody was really good on Saturday for sure. Ryan, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, boys.
Ryan Hansen.
Nobody brings you the inside scoop on your Arizona Wildcats like we do. Today's Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans. Modelo, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Collisions reported 4th Avenue near 6th, 4th Avenue south of 6th Street, Pantano and Golf Links reported. Slowing at Grant and Alvernon. Also backups for both directions of travel on Campbell at Glen due to road work. Use Mountain Avenue or Tucson Boulevard instead. 59 the low, 92 tomorrow, and 86 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Superstar Car Wash.
Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right, totally free for a limited time. Because we love what makes you shine. See website for details.
Hey, it's Mrs. HVAC. If you're anything like me, a mom, a wife, and maybe a little bit crazy about the air I breathe and the water I drink, then listen up. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has you in mind with our home wellness check. That's 3 visits a year to make sure your AC is happy, your plumbing isn't plotting against you, and your water isn't secretly weird. We'll even test your water quality because you deserve spa water, not swamp vibes. Let's keep your home sane, even if you're not. Call us today or book online at picturerockscooling.com.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Cruising down I-10, it's not just traffic you dodge, it's flying rocks, blown tire chunks, desert debris, and the sun never quits. That's Tucson life.
But with paint protection film from Recon Auto Detailing, my car stays flawless, no matter how many miles I put on I-10.
It's more than protection. It's peace of mind every drive, every highway run, every day. Keep your car looking showroom new. Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson. Armor for your ride.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward, so listen close.
You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
$1,000 is a pretty good chunk of change.
All right, yeah!
And we're giving you 5 chances a day to win. 5 winners a day, $1,000 each, every weekday. That's $5K a day.
No freaking way.
Listen for the national text keywords, weekdays, 5 times a day for your chance to win $1,000 with $5K a day.
Oh my God!
5 chances to win $1,000, $5K a day.
Keep listening for your chance to text the national keyword right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Goodfellasac.com.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. With Billy Napier finally sent packing, Florida must find a coach who will restore stability to a once great program. Lane Kiffin is the obvious target, but I think he'll stay at Ole Miss. And then after that, ex-Penn State coach James Franklin should get a call, and Gators AD Scott Strickland must also try and pry Kenny Dillingham away from Arizona State. While other potential targets could include some other Power 4 coaches in Eli Drinkwitz, Jed Fish, and Brent Key. I'm Zach Gelb.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, we're taking you up to the top of the hour. We've got Panther Talk for you this evening, and that'll be at 6:05. And then Monday Night Football, Game 2 coming up tonight at 7. And we'll have the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. I know my mom is loving that. She gets a chance to watch her guy CJ Stroud tonight. Arizona Volleyball had a really good weekend. If you heard Dragon Ball's update the last hour, they swept, getting wins at Central Florida on Thursday, and then yesterday afternoon, I should say, getting the win in Houston.
A beautiful fall day in Houston, Texas, welcoming the Arizona Wildcats, taking on the Houston Cougars. Dug up by Wilson, back to Heath, placed perfectly down the line. First set goes to Arizona. But bad news, Arizona has the free ball. That means Jordan Wilson's coming in for the big attack. Gonzalez with another attempt, but Wilson handling it with the big. Wilson digging the demanding Scoggins set me the back row. Back to Heath, going into the block, but it's up. Heath again. And Heath gets the tool. That's going to do it. The Wildcats hold off Houston in 4 sets.
So both of those matches they won on the road. They won in 4 sets. Arizona 11-6 and 5-2 in the Big 12. 19 kills for Jordan Wilson in the game. She hit 294. 15 For Carly Cisneros, who hit 209, they hit 245 as a team. 44 assists for Avery Scoggins in the contest, and a couple of big dig nights. Yet Carly Cisneros, again, double-double, 15 kills, 20 digs. Jordan Wilson, double-double, 19 kills, 24 digs. Also, Brenna Gander and Avery Scoggins had double-digit dig games as well in Arizona's win. Let's hear from the head coach afterwards, Rita Stubbs, on the 3-1 win and the sweep of the weekend road.
What impressed you about your squad today?
I love the fact that we stayed together and we fought together as a group. You know, we had a couple of people on the court that said we got to do better, we got to work for one another, and they actually listened to one another. Anytime that happens is a good day.
Next match is against Iowa State, another road test. What will you guys be focusing on in practice this week?
We're going to be resting our bodies a little bit, you know, traveling from Florida to Houston and going home to getting back on the road, going to Iowa State. You know, all of these facilities are new for us, so just trying to get acclimated as fast as we can.
Thanks, Coach. I see how dialed in and focused you were on the court. What was your mentality going into this one?
Just shutting them down. They have great attackers over there, great players, great defense, and we knew that they were going to come out and protect their home court, so we just had to get gritty. Know that they're going to go after every ball, so we just have to give in more.
All right, that was also Jordan Wilson there at the end of that interview there. Jordan Wilson, who had an outstanding game. So the ladies now are 5-2. I mentioned 5-2 in Big 12 play, but they've got one more road match to go on this road trip before they come home to take on Arizona State, which will be this Saturday at McHale Center. So get your tickets for that and line it up and make it loud there for the ladies. They will play at Iowa State on Thursday. So home and then right back out onto the road. I mean, this is traveling, folks. This is Central Flight. So they went all the way to Orlando, played Friday night, got on a plane, got to Houston on Saturday, and went to the football game, which was kind of cool.
Rita had an interview on the sideline during the game there.
Yeah.
Bro, we talk about like Saturday and Monday in basketball, but that's outrageous.
Yeah.
Florida to Houston to Tucson and back out on the road.
And now you got to go back to Ames, Iowa again, play Thursday night there, and then come back home and play your rival on Saturday.
When you play in a conference with 2,000 miles in between schools, that'll happen.
It's crazy.
Wishing them all the best of luck on their tests.
Oh, God.
Because there's no study time in that regard.
Well, when you got what she said, midterms and all that is happening right now. So you got a lot going on for sure. In terms of the Big 12 right now, so Arizona State's in first place. They are 6-0. Colorado 7-1. TCU 6-1. And then you've got 3 teams at 5-2. Iowa State, Kansas State, and Arizona are all at 5-2. Arizona, I believe lost at Kansas, and then they'll have to go to Iowa State. So they have to play both those big teams on the road before the leaders coming up at home on Saturday. So big week for Rita and her team as well. All right, we're getting you straight for Panther Talk here at 6:05. We'll get another break in. We'll come back. We'll get you our Casino del Sol replay. We'll also update you on what we decided to do in terms of the over-under on the baseball game and update you on that. It is DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Slowing on Campbell at Glen due to road work, collisions, St. Mary's east of Silver Bell, 4th Avenue south of 6th Street, also Pantano and Golf Links and Pantano. 59 the low, 92 tomorrow, and 83 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio. 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find the latest fall looks all for under $30. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Game day isn't complete without repping your team. Whether you're in the stands, at home, or tailgating with friends, NFLShop.com has the gear every fan needs. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and sideline styles straight from the pros to you. Fresh arrivals drop all season long, so you'll always stay game day ready. Fan like a pro and shop now at NFLShop.com.
It's basketball season, Wildcat fans, and tickets are on sale now. It's no secret that McHale Center is one of the most electric atmospheres in the country. And now is your chance to be part of the madness as Tommy Lloyd, Jaden Bradley, and the rest of the Wildcats compete for a Big 12 title. Get your tickets now by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/MBK or call the McHale Center ticket office at 520-621-2287. That's 520-621-CATS.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400. AZROC 214570.
If you're feeling overwhelmed by the thought of a home remodel, don't stress. The Window Depot is here to help. At the Window Depot, we're your one-stop warehouse for everything you need for your next remodel. Windows? Check. Doors? Got it. Cabinets, countertops, and everything in between? You'll find it all here at the lowest prices. Whether it's a kitchen, bathroom, or whole home makeover, our experienced designers are ready to bring your dream home to life, all at unbeatable prices. Find a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto, professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. So we've got Game 7 tonight. Game 7 of the ALCS happening now, as I like to say, in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And they have played 2 innings. Seattle is leading Toronto by a score of 1-1. I'm sorry, tied. Can't be leading anybody 1-1. Seattle and Toronto are tied at 1 after 2 innings. So we had a stalemate earlier in terms of our BetMGM Network top plays. The folks at BetMGM Network, we had Joe Ostrowski, who said take the under at -115. We had Michael Jenkins, who said take the over at -105. The last 5 games in this series have been the over, but our vote was to take the under on this one. So we are taking the under in the game. So 1-1 after 2. That's off to a pretty decent start, I would think. We'll kind of see how that plays out for us, because right now we've also got the Buccaneers +6, and that's not looking real good. But again, hey, Baker Mayfield, he's been known to create magic in the fourth quarter. So we'll see how that one plays out as well. All right, let's give you your Casino del Sol replay for today. And the Suns will be beginning their season shortly here and on Wednesday night against Sacramento. As a matter of fact, one of the new Suns is a guy named Dylan Brooks. You might know him. He played at Oregon, a crowd favorite or fan favorite, not so favorite.
Also from Toronto.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, somebody's got to play defense.
There you go. What he Dragon Ball's favorite son?
Yep.
Is that what we're calling him?
Yep.
Dylan Brooks. Anyway, let's hear from Mr. Dylan Brooks. He took a little shot. Had to get some stitches in practice this week. Here is Dylan on being that villain that everybody loves to hate.
One of my teammates got me with the elbow, but that's our intensity. Play hard, no matter what it is. I'm all right. Just got 6 stitches and ain't nothing that I haven't faced before.
6 stitches?
Yeah, 6.
Who was the player?
You keep that.
Okay.
You keep that on the wrap. But one of these guys, probably Villain Jr. Shit.
Which obviously leads into, I know you may get announced for the
Yeah.
but what is it about him? You said he volunteered for it.
For sure. He's got that energy, that determination. And I feel like that's what, the villain really is. It's having that determination to bow through what people say about you, what, the misconception about you is, and, proving yourself every single day. He wanted that, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder every single day. He talks a little here and there, but he's a competitor. That's what it's about. We want to win the possession game because you watch these games, even in the preseason, games come down to 1-2 possessions. If you can steal some on any given scenario or situation, you got a better chance of winning the games and putting yourself in position to win games. And
all right, it's Dylan Brooks. That's your Casino del Sol replay. It is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf. That's going to wrap up our show. Thanks to Ryan Hansen and Brian Peterson for joining us. Panther Talk is next, and then Monday Night Football. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm David Kelly, Dragon Ball, and J-Dub. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Done Right Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, choose a genuine local Tucson company, Done Right Services. With decades of trusted experience and upfront pricing, Done Right Services treats every customer like a valued neighbor. From upgrades to urgent repairs, our licensed professionals deliver quality, care, and craftsmanship you can count on, getting it done right. Call Done Right Services today at 520-369-3966 because you deserve it done right.
Kick off the savings now at Royal Buick GMC. Save on leases with zero due at signing and all taxes and fees included. That's right, you pay nothing down. Lease the new Buick Encore GX for $389 a month, the Buick Envision for $489 a month, or the GMC Sierra 1500 for $679 a month. All leases are 36 months with zero due at signing and all taxes and fees included. Or put $1,000 down and get into a GMC Canyon pickup for $499 a month for 36 months with taxes and fees included. Save big, up to $14,750 off a new GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab. OAC must lease with GM Financial. No security deposit. Lease mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. See dealer for details. B34025, B33964, G8915, G8546. Offers end 11/3/25. Kick off the savings now at Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
There's nothing like college football. From the pageantry of game day to the touchdowns and tackles that make it America's sport. Every week, the Arizona Wildcats strap on their helmets and play football. They do it for you. This is where you hear complete coverage of every U of A football game throughout the fall. Tune in each week as Arizona Sports Enterprises proudly presents University of Arizona Wildcat Football. Bear down.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain. Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona Athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers in the National Football League.
This is Panther Talk on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
The snap to fake to Hubbard, rolling right. Now Young rolls back to his left, eyes up. Young throws, end zone, diving catch, Legette, touchdown Carolina!
The defense certainly shining today with the sacks and the 2 interceptions by JC, and then the offense finding our wins early, doubling down, scoring right before the half, scoring when we came out of it. Being able to get those critical points that were the difference, and just clutch performances by guys focusing and finishing by doing right longer.
And now, along with Sharon Thorsland and Jim Szoke, here's Anish Shroff with Panther Talk, live from the Panthers broadcast facility at Bank of America Stadium.
It is Panther Talk, and the Carolina Panthers are rolling. 3 straight wins, 4 of the last 5. Anish Shroff, Jim Szoke, Sharon Thorsland in for Eugene Robinson, and the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, Dave Canales, back from New Jersey. Hard-fought win against the Jets. The thing that we've noticed over these last 4 or 5 games, this team is finding different ways to win games. What does that tell you?
It just tells me that there's a lot of trust in the building between the coaching staff and the players to our processes, commitment to how we practice, commitment to growing our football, learning more information about situational ball, and being able to execute. We talk about finish, and our definition is do right longer, and that's what it's required, and that's what we continue to find late in games is quality football in all 3 phases, really. And I'm sure we'll be able to dive into that a little bit more as we go, but it's a team that's trusting the process and just growing up right before our eyes.
A lot had been said about the 3 wins at home, hadn't been able to win on the road yet. You tweaked a few things, I think, going into this game against the Jazz. What did you see different from your team yesterday that maybe you haven't seen in the prior 3 road games?
Well,